of Biology 101. She's going to be a big part of this show. So I wanted to start off today with just a little house cleaning, something that I said that I was going to do and we had planned on doing. And that's, in the first couple shows, we had to handle something that we had to right some wrongs. We talked about that. And one of those wrongs was, helping out two kids that have been denied by their father. And that was T-Rev, who's denied he says they're not his children, or he's not sure that they're his children, or he wants a DNA test, whatever. I mean, it's a pretty simple process, but he's demanding, I guess, that the state hunt him down and give him a DNA test. I don't know what he's doing. It sounds like that's what he said in his rap song that he just did. But anyway, Sherry is going to be on here tonight, T-Rev's still current wife, and probably their two children, who are Lana and Austin. Austin is 14. Lana is 13. And she didn't ask for a dime. She's never asked me for any help. We wanted to do that because of the situation. And what I've done is I've got with everyone, and we all agreed that the best thing to do would be to have a Cash App scrolling across the bottom of the screen here. And, school starts on the 7th, and, those teenage kids, they want clothes and school supplies. And Sherry is a single mom who's owed nearly $50,000 in back child support, doesn't get a dime from anybody from the father's side of the family. So part of righting one of the wrongs we discussed was we're going to do something to help. So what we'll do is we will run this across the bottom, and I don't care if you give 50 cents, $1, whatever. I'm sure it's going to add up for Sherry and help her provide some clothes and school supplies for the kids. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, we're gonna move on to Smoke and Mirrors and Taylor. Now, if you looked at that thumbnail that Jeff and I put together, it's funny when I have a vision, and I said to Jeff, I said, you know what? That's Smoke and Mirrors and Taylor. That's what she should be called. That's what she should be known for. She's just all about smoke and mirrors, using words. And she plays on people using words. She sends subliminal messages like sheath placed on comforter, things like that, and legal documents. She's smoke and mirrors. That's all she is. I'm not impressed with Ann Taylor, to be honest with you. Who gives an alibi or advises to give an alibi that their client was out driving around? I would have said, hey, what we need to say is, you were popped 49 days later, so you don't know what you were doing 49 days ago. If I remember right, is that the right 49 days? You don't remember what you were doing. I mean, I don't remember if you asked me what I was doing 49 days ago on a specific day, I'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't remember any of that stuff. So what he should have said was, I don't recall. Because if you say you don't remember, you don't remember. But if you say you don't recall, there's a possibility that you could recall. If somebody reminded you or gave you, some information, oh yeah, that's right, I recall that now. But if you say you don't remember, it's a little trick, people. If you ever go to a deposition and a lawyer is trying to trip you up, and he's getting you to trying to get you to lock in on something, and you say, counselor, I don't recall. I just don't recall. Pisses them off because they want to lock you in so they can impeach you from your testimony in your deposition and trial. But if you say you don't recall and then you get to trial and you do recall, nothing wrong with that because you just didn't recall at the time. So to me, I've seen way better attorneys than Ann Taylor. I'm just being honest. So you guys that are jumping up and down and loving on Ann Taylor, she's the greatest thing in the world. Oh, she just handed the prosecution their ass, blah, blah, blah. Smoke and mirrors, nonsense. And we're going to prove it tonight. We're going to talk about some of the silly things that she said and done and motions she's filed. I won't go into great detail, but we're going to kind of impeach her. Now, I can't hold her accountable. I'm nobody. I'm a has-been. Not an attorney. I was a cop for a long time, but I'm not an attorney. But I know a lot about the law, and I know how attorneys work. I know how judges think, too. I know that when she filed that motion and she accused the state of withholding evidence, and the way that she worded it, she tactfully submitted it on a Friday so the judge wouldn't see it, and it would get, the clerk would post it, and we would all be all over it over the weekend. Do you think that was an accident? It was no accident. That was tactfully planned. It was brilliant. But I promise you this much. I think it was the following Tuesday when she had the hearing. I think before that, there's a word called admonished. You might want to look it up if you don't know what it means. But judges love that word. And when an attorney is admonished, it's usually documented. It's not done in a scolding way for the jury, especially to hear, or in public. It's usually done in chambers or sent in an email, or I believe, and this is just my opinion, that she was admonished for what she said. So I'm gonna bring one of my superstars up, Kelly D. And what we do with Kelly D is Kelly's like, she's my right hand person. She I have a job, everyone. This is not my job. I don't have the opportunity to sit at home and collect a check from the government and double dip and run a podcast. I run a business, and I'm on the phone with Kelly. She can attest, and Jeff, and I'm like, hey guys, I got some windshield time right now. What's going on? So I bounce some ideas off of them. I ask them to pull up video or pull up some documents, and let's put it together so we can try and put a show together. And that's what the day's been like. Get up 5:30 this morning, try to get everything done that I can do so that I can, have some time to talk to them while I'm driving around. And that's how we work it throughout the day. In the last couple hours, we've been sitting together trying to piece it all together. We'll do the best we can. But I think at the end of the show, this is all going to be about Ann Taylor and how unethical attorneys can be sometimes, insensitive, and just crazy, some of the things that they do. And people are like, well, how does she rest her head at night, defending someone like that? Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't hate Ann Taylor. She's got a job to do, and we all need to respect that. She's doing her job. But some of the things that she does, if I were a judge, which I'm not, but if I were a judge and she were to get up and start lecturing me about, some case law or something silly, that I would be like, quit wasting my time. Move on, counselor. She does a lot of that. She's kind of condescending, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Some of you think she's great. She's the cat's meow. Not me. I don't think she's great. We're going to have Jeff on the show as well. So we're going to bring Jeff in, and Jeff's going to be talking. So we're going to have Kelly talking, Jeff talking, and myself talking. Go ahead and bring him in.
Yay.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
Long time no see.
So yeah. So Jeff has been working with me all day, putting together some stuff. He did some graphic stuff for us, that thumbnail. I mean, like I said, I have a vision, tell
That's
Jeff what
great.
I want, and he's the creator. He molds it together for me.
Yeah.
Sends me some proofs. I'm like, yeah, let's add a little bit of this here and a little bit there. A little more smoke. Can we get some more smoke?
Had to think about how to do
More
that one for a
cowbell.
while.
More cowbell, Jeff. More cowbell.
He pulled it
More
off.
cowbell.
He always does. You guys are such a great team.
So
I love
Jeff's a lot of
being
fun.
able to watch you guys work.
Yeah.
It's like synergy, really. They bounce off each other, and great ideas become
Wonder Twin
amazing
powers.
ideas.
Wonder Twin powers activate. So at the end of the show, everyone, what we're gonna do is probably not. It's not gonna be this show, but maybe this show. I don't know. We're gonna let Jeff grab one of those badass guitars he's got back there and show off a little bit, because he's a heck of a musician.
Thank you.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cover Ann Taylor and her nonsense. What I believe to be nonsense. We all do. I mean, I that are, pro prosecution. I mean, I love to watch some of these defense attorneys work. I used to love to battle with them. Never lost a case. Never. Had one attorney here locally that he wanted to win a case on me so bad because I was in dope. So I was always in suppression hearings. Never could win a case. Actually came up to me one day and says, John, hey man, you think I could come ride with you? I'm like, what? You want to come ride with me? That ain't happening. So I love battling. I love a challenge, and we're going to talk about her tonight. So what's happened here is Kelly has done a great job putting together some points for us to talk about. Like I said, we bounce stuff back and forth, and I'm like, this is what I want. So she's tried to put it all together for us, and we're gonna go down and talk about this stuff. One more announcement that I want to make. T-Rev, I know you're listening, buddy. Guess who's never, ever, ever going to be on your show again and probably never even talk to you again? Todd. Been back and forth with him all day long. He thinks you're an absolute scumbag, and he actually has sent me. I have the email calling you that. It says you're the worst of the worst. He would never, ever entertain a conversation with you again. And we're working out some other stuff as well. So remember the righting the wrongs. Yeah, you snowed him too. So, and it's not just that. He's disgusted with you as a human being because of what you've done to your wife and your children. And you write and you do some stupid rap song where you actually incriminate yourself in a rap song. You talk about how you want the state, or what did he say? Something about the state giving you a DNA test, and you're effing her and effing this person. You have zero class. You're disgusting. And anyone who stays on your show, don't ever come to this show. You already had some thugs in here trying to mess with us. But it's all good. Bye-bye, T-Rev. Keep it coming. Keep your lies coming. You're gonna, as soon as you get back to wherever you are, you're gonna be getting something from my attorney too, just so you know. Wink, wink. Just so you know. And you just did more. I've actually that little. You think that just because you're not saying my name, but you post my face in a video, huh? Pretty stupid, buddy.
It was pretty disgusting.
He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, is he, guys? I don't think so. I don't think he's the sharpest tool in the shed. I think he might have been dropped on his head at some point. Don't know. But we're going to move right along. So let me go into this right here. Oh, wait. Add to the stream. All right, Jeff, you ready?
What do you want to see first, John?
So start with a slideshow, and Kelly, take us off here,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
It's coming right up. Coming right up.
Did you
All
want
right,
to start
lead us down the yellow brick road there.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Well, we just kind of wanted to recap the last week and what was going on, and what led up to Ann Taylor and Brian Koberger waiving his right to a speedy trial. And I feel like there's times where she's really unprofessional, and she's got a job to do, but you've also got your integrity to hold on to, and some of the ways that she's come at the prosecution, spreading misinformation, making everybody think that the prosecution is withholding evidence, and all this ridiculous stuff that is unfounded. And in every reply to her motions, the prosecution says, we've given her everything that we have. Now, the key thing is this prosecution cannot bring anything into the trial, and I'm sure would be in big trouble if he tried that wasn't in discovery. It's basic. And so for her to lead everyone to believe with these Friday drops, insinuating that the prosecution is not holding up their end of the, doing their job and making sure that they have all the discovery is just unreal. Yeah, we've got.
It's pretty disgusting that she can just say whatever. She can just say whatever she wants, and for all intents and purposes, she just gets away with it.
Yes, no consequences.
It's not like that down here. I can tell you that much right now. Our system down here, you don't act that way in court. You don't say that. I mean, you're pretty much you start getting out of line like she's gotten out of line, and you get spanked pretty quick. They don't tolerate that stuff. You don't make a mockery out of the judicial system. You don't insult the other team by making absolutely 100,000% false accusations. And here's why I'm saying that. And think about this, people. The state prosecutes the case. The investigating entities, and we've got multiple here, put together the case. They disseminate the information to the state attorney's office. The state gathers the information, reviews it, provides it to the defense. It's real simple. But Ann Taylor keeps wanting to grandstand. She grandstands. That's all she does. She writes a motion, and in that motion, she continually, I would say, slanders the state and says they're withholding evidence. They're not providing evidence. They're holding back. State replies back, responds, no, everything we have, you have. Yet she still wants to go down that rabbit hole and insist that the state's withholding evidence. That wouldn't happen, everybody. No attorney is going to go out there and put their neck on a line and withhold evidence to win a case.
Right.
Too much to lose. Gone to school for a long time to get to where they are. They built their career. They're not going to risk it for withholding a piece of evidence to bide time. It's not how it works. Everything is tracked. But she wants us all to believe, and she wants some of these YouTubers that are supplementing their incomes, sitting at home all day, have nothing else better to do, double dipping, taking money from y'all to believe that, you know, the state's nefarious, the state's just crooked. And her big claim to fame is getting a convicted murderer off for a technicality. That's her big claim to fame. And we won't even go there. I'll let you guys look that up yourselves. But she's proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely proud of it. Not something I would be proud of. You know, there are innocent people out there. And I have the right to feel like Brian Kohlberger's guilty, just like anyone else has the right to feel like Brian Kohlberger's innocent. But I get these debates back and forth. Well, you're one-sided. No, I'm just looking at the evidence we have. And in my opinion, they've got the right guy. But others believe otherwise. And I have no problem with that. If you want to come on the show and debate or get into chat with me, and I'll debate back and forth with you, that's fine. We can be friends in the end. We can agree to disagree. I'm not going to hate you, and I don't expect you to hate me, but it's not always that way. You know, no matter what, they're going to hate you if you think that a man's guilty. You know, I think that the man's guilty. Does that change the fact that he doesn't have the right to due process? No, he's innocent until proven guilty, but I think he's guilty, and I'm okay with that. So that's my stance thus far. We haven't gone any further yet on Ms. Taylor, but go ahead, Kelly. Do you have anything, Jeff?
No, I think, I mean, I do think in general, everybody feels that, you know, an American citizen in this country has the right to, you know, to their day in court. I don't think anybody is no, I mean, some people might make statements they're so sure that, you know, maybe just take him out back. No, I don't, you know, agree to things like that. I think he'll have his day in court, as he should. But
Right.
but man, yeah, if you ask me what I think, yeah, I think I agree with you, John. So
I mean, 100%. You know, everybody has the right to due process, but it still doesn't change the fact I'm not on the jury.
Yeah.
I'm not. There's, you know, I can be biased if I want to be biased. I'm biased. I guess you can say I'm biased because I've looked at the evidence and I know that there's way more. And remember, everyone, that PCA was just here's how it works. So I can try to help everyone understand. The PCA is nothing but a probable cause affidavit. It is the bare minimum of what you need to get a judge to basically find that there's probable cause to detain and arrest this person. The incident report, which is the culmination of the investigation, is done afterward. So when I did any case that I did, my arrest report, my arrest affidavit, my PCA is what went with him to the jail. The judge gets it. He attends first appearance. The judge reads it, and the bare minimum is there. You know, John Doe, you know, pulled a gun out, shot the victim, fled, police chased down, caught, retrieved weapon, blah, 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 done. Now, all the incidental, all the little stuff, everything in between, the interviews with witnesses, things like that, that all gets put into the incident report. And that's what no one is seeing. And there's a gag order. So if there wasn't a gag order, a lot of the incident report, although a lot would be redacted, but little things would be able to be seen because you could get access to the incident report once the case is cleared. This is what people are not understanding. They think that PCA is the tell-all. I mean, this is it. This is all the state has. No. That was a well-written PCA, and I was not even remotely expecting it to have as much as it had. Didn't need to have all that. But that is a minuscule piece of this. That PCA represents about, knowing what I know about how the 51 terabytes that they have, the 13,000 photos, all the things that they have, the statements, the video footage, which is part of those terabytes. Yeah, I think about 5%, maybe, of the evidence in this case might have been in that PCA. Maybe 5%, maybe less. I think in the grand scheme of things, when this trial starts, it's going to be so overwhelming that everyone's mind's going to be blown. If you watch the Murdaugh case, which, by the way, is single-handedly probably the most impressive case I've ever seen. You want to talk about a digital footprint just absolutely burying somebody. If you haven't watched that trial, it's a long trial and you'll be bored in some parts, but I'll tell you what, you will come out of that trial just going, wow. I mean, they put him there. They put him there with a digital footprint on the same spot where the bodies were found. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, that video with him saying "Baba."
Yeah. The dogs chasing down a chicken or something.
Sometimes you don't know when you're being recorded, and that was so key.
Yeah. So that was an impressive case, and I'm predicting that this case, when that cast report comes out, and let's talk about that for a second before we move on. That cast report is not something that you can just put together and throw out there. Basically, in a nutshell, what that cast report is, it's, find my iPhone. If anybody's got an iPhone, they're familiar with Find My iPhone. Find My iPhone is, it'll put you there.
I'll put it back.
Put you within feet of where you found your phone. You look for it, there it is. Yep. That's what the cast report is. That's what the cast report's going to reveal. And I think that, and again, I'm just thinking here, but I think that when they review his cell history, they're going to show those other times that he was right there. And it may even show what I predicted in the very beginning when Enton was there after watching me on another show. It was kind of ironic. I'm not saying that this is what happened, but it was just crazy. That's why I know that these reporters actually troll on these YouTube sites, because I was like, right there and back behind there's a bird's eye view. It's level back there. There's probably a parking lot. We did an Google Earth, zoomed in on it. Yep, there's a parking lot. And I said, that's where he probably surveilled them. That's where I believe that allegedly Brian Kohlberger probably sat and watched, right in the sliders that didn't have any curtains or shutters or anything. Bird's eye view, eye level, right there, looking right into Kaylee's room. You remember when Kaylee's got the dog and they keep showing the dog, the Labradoodle that she had jumping up and down, how cute. And she's bent over, and behind her are the sliders, and you can see behind her that very lot. How naive anyone would be to not have coverings on our sliders and know that lot could potentially be back there for some pervert or anyone. Now, I don't know that she didn't close her blinds, but they weren't closed in any of the video that we saw. So I would only assume that they were open a lot. So let's move on. Kelly.
Yes.
Keep going.
So I just want to be clear that I am counting on Ann Taylor doing her job. We need her to do her job, because Brian is going to get an automatic appeal. That is part of the death penalty phase. And we don't want to give him any room to put these families through anymore. I really feel he's guilty, and I just wish that Ann Taylor would be a little more professional. I don't like how she did these Friday night drops. It's just unbelievable. And I don't know if you got a clip of her walking back.
Yeah, that's what I asked you to pull.
Yeah, walking back.
This is she's leading us right into it. This is exactly what I want Kelly to do. So I said to Kelly, I said, you know what I want? I want her, I want the day that she's, you know what, we'll be ready. Basically, she's cocky. She's like, we'll get him exonerated. Let's go ahead and shoot for October 2nd. No problem. Remember, be careful what you ask for. And I said on another show, I'm like, there's no way that this is going to go October 2nd. There's no way. It'll probably be more like a year down the road. There is no way that's going to go October 2nd. She's delusional. She's blowing smoke and mirrors. She's sending a subliminal out there that we got this. Our client's innocent. He can't wait to exonerate himself. So we've got that clip.
And for whose benefit? Is that for public opinion, for the YouTubers?
Yeah, look at the coverage that this got, Jeff. I mean, it's like, it's obvious what she's doing. It's just like she did the Friday drop. And in that drop, she actually put in there that the knife sheath was placed. Not that it was found.
Right.
It was placed.
Outrageous.
It was placed there. That to me was absolutely
right.
Unbelievable.
That's not an accidental choice of word.
No.
So she plays on words, and she's just full of smoke, looking in the mirror.
Because I can't imagine a scenario where the crime is happening. You just imagine as awful as it is, and the one doing the crime is like, wait, hold on a second, let me place this right here. Okay, now we can continue. It's like clearly there's only one person that it paints a picture for when you use the word placed. It's like, afterwards you place it, but during is like, So
what happened at that point? What happened at that point when she did that? What did all these pro Kohlberger people start suggesting?
Right.
We got dirty. We must have dirty cops.
We
got dirty cops. So
they ran with that one.
We've
I think a lot of people like to hear that because that's their opinion before they even heard about this case, probably, right? That's their
no matter what.
So it resonates with them.
Their cops are dirty no matter what, because that's where we are, unfortunately, in the United States, in society in the United States. The media has destroyed perception of law enforcement. They've destroyed it, and we've allowed them because we entertain it.
Yeah.
And somebody that's been there as long as I was there, according to T-Rev, I'm a mall cop and I stole badges and did all this stuff. That's going to cost him, by the way. But you know what? When I get that money, I'm going to give it to your wife, T-Rev. But you know what? I don't think I'll even get any money because you're going to have that. You got that judgment, and anything that's awarded has to go to her first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But anyway, as much time as I spent, I have never, ever witnessed an officer, detective, anyone planting evidence, doing anything insane like that. Because if I had, I'd be straight in IAD and I would turn them in. I despise anybody that would disgrace the profession like that. And for anybody to suggest that, it just doesn't compute to me. And it's shameful. It's shameful that we have become so cynical today and full of so much hate toward law enforcement. It's sad. But when you need them, they're there.
Yeah.
So keep it going, Kelly.
Yeah. So, and just it's really irresponsible, and I wish I know the judge probably admonished her behind the scenes for that motion that she wrote up and dropped on a Friday night. But you know, throughout, and even up into her last motion to dismiss the grand jury indictment, what is she doing? We're going to show you that a little later. Let's see what she's let's see what she's walking back here. I want to hear this.
So this is beautiful. So what this is gonna show is, do you remember that motion that she filed on that Friday? And if you saw me on this other show, I was going crazy because come Tuesday, I said on that Friday, she's going to get her butt handed to her when these other creators, so-called creators, are jumping up and down. And Taylor just owned the state. Blah, blah, blah. You're just going absolutely insane. I wanted to puke. Couldn't even listen to this one creator. She was going off so much. It was crazy. She's laughing. She's got this nails to the chalkboard laugh. I won't say her name, but it's like, it's just crazy. Wearing her hat backwards, all in a thick hoodie that she wears all the time. Thinks she's an attorney. Actually, I've got a recording. What's funny is this creator has actually said, she said, and my client, Brian T. Kohlberger, she actually said that she actually thinks that she's an attorney and that Brian Kohlberger is her client. I've got that clip. It's hilarious. Is that a Freudian slip? I don't know. I do Freudian slips all the time. I don't know. But it was pretty funny. So what this is Ann Taylor backstroking. Because in my opinion, Judge, who's a no-nonsense judge, saw that affidavit or that motion that she filed, and knowing that this hearing was coming up, she rolled it out on the weekend. And I guarantee you, she wouldn't be saying what she's saying right now, which is kind of like a backdoor apology. She's kind of backdooring it. She's not really coming out and saying, I'm sorry, or I shouldn't have said that, but she is. And what we're going to do is we're going to play that. And then we're going to talk about her motion and what a walking contradiction she is, or a liar. Which is it? I'll let you guys opine on that, but go ahead and play it.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Just tell me when you want to pause. Just yell out pause.
All right.
Thank you. Your Honor, first, I want to start with talking about the discovery process. As the court knows, we have been representing Mr. Kohlberger since the very end of December of 2022. And during the course of the last
What happened?
We lost it there, Jeff. What happened?
What'd you say?
Houston,
No
we have a
sound.
problem.
No
No
sound?
sound.
She started with sound and then
You started with
Stop.
sound.
Oh, you know what? When I mute myself, I thought I was just muting my own mic. I think I'm muting this too. I'm sorry. Here, let's try go back to the beginning.
But first, I want to start
You can hear
with
it?
talking about the discovery process. As the court knows, we have been representing Mr. Koberger since the very end of December of 2022. And during the course of the last several months, there has been a lot of discovery that's been requested and a lot that's been supplied. I come here asking the court to compel discovery. I'm seeking an order directing that we receive this discovery. I'm not seeking any other kind of sanction. I don't come here saying that the prosecutor has done something wrong. I come here
Whoa,
saying,
stop, Jeff. Stop that, buddy. Can we loop that a couple times? I want to hear that again. Wait a second. What does she say there?
I don't here saying that the prosecutor has done something wrong. I come here saying
I don't want to stand up here and say or imply that the prosecutor has done something wrong. Yet, just days before, she prepares a motion where the entire motion is insisting that the prosecution is withholding evidence. And she wants them sanctioned. She's walking that back right now, isn't she? She's backstroking. Because she got her butt handed to her by that guy sitting right in front of her. I promise you, we'll never know because it was in closed chambers and it was done probably with an email. Unethical behavior right there. Let's play it one more time, Jeff. I just want everyone to hear it.
I don't come here saying that the prosecutor has done something wrong. I come here saying that there are things that we have a disagreement about whether I should get them or when I should get them, and we seek a court order to assist us in this regard. So, Ms. Hayes.
All right. So stop. So she's a walking contradiction. That's what she is. Smoke and mirrors. Walking contradiction. 100%. She's deflated right there. Shouldn't have that pep in her step that she had before. Probably had a great weekend after submitting that piece of literature. It was wonderful. Had everybody up in arms. She just told the state off. She just owned them. She owned the state. Funny how about 72 hours can change perception. So now we're going to hear the state's response. And basically what the state is saying here, the state's saying, hey, look, we've given everything that we have to the defense. When we get it, they get it. And this is what I want everyone to understand. The state is disseminated evidence from the agencies, in this case, that are investigating multiple facets of this crime, these crimes, these 4 signal 5s. And remember, signal 5 is homicide. That's just, what we call it down here. So you've got multiple agencies involved. You've got Idaho State Police. You've got Moscow. You've got the FBI. You've got Pennsylvania. You've got crime labs. You've got independent crime labs. All of these people have to put together an incident report with supplements that go to the incident report to paint the picture and tell the story. Not a PCA, probable cause affidavit, which tells very little, but people that have no business forming opinions about things that they're not qualified to even talk about, yet have shows and talk to hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people worldwide, and try to suggest these things when they don't know what they're talking about. They have no clue, but they send out these subliminal messages. And we have other creators that aren't even American creators. One guy in that's British, Harsh. He's trying to crack on our systems all day long. Talk bad about our law enforcement. Harsh, come to the show, buddy. Bring that nonsense to this show. Any of you creators out there who want to talk this stuff, I won't bite your head off. I would love for you to come to the show, or I'll come to your show. People are going to be like, oh, he's just trying to get plugs. He's trying to get clicks. No, I'll go to your show. Open invitation, Detective John 68 at gmail.com. Detective John 68. Hopefully I don't have to spell it for you. Detective John 68 at gmail. Send me an invite. I'll come on to your show. You can get the clicks. And we'll talk about, what you believe and what I believe. And we'll see who, comes out ahead in the end. So, yeah. I mean, it's all about smoke and mirrors with this lady. Go ahead, Kelly or Jeff. I need to take a sip of water.
Yeah, sure.
Hit that button to bring it up.
All right, so this is, like I said, this is what the state responds.
So Ms. Taylor's correct. She has everything that the state has in our possession. And we work diligently and consistently in getting her all the information that we have in a quick fashion. To date, we have discovered approximately about 13,000 pages of reports, 13,000 photographs, over 10,000 tips, and over 1,500 kilobytes of audio and video information. So we are down to just a few points of disagreement. First, with regard to item number 6 on the defendant's first motion to compel discovery. This involves training records.
Jeff, are you able to go back to where we were?
Yeah.
All right. So what did she say? 13,000 pages of reports, 13,000 photographs. What was the rest, Kelly?
I don't remember. It was 250,000 worth of.
Yeah.
There was 51 terabytes, which is equal to about 250,000 videos or something like that.
51 terabytes, everyone. 51 terabytes is, if I remember right, like Kelly just said, we talked about it earlier, 250,000 2-hour movies. Now, do you think that an attorney would be able to review 250,000 2-hour movies by October 2nd? I think not.
No.
But she wanted everybody to believe that she's got this. This case is nothing. We'll have our guy exonerated in no time. The state has nothing.
If they want to send us the footage, we'd be happy to look at it all for them. If they don't have time. Right?
Yeah,
I'll peruse it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Pop it into Adobe Premiere right now.
So go ahead and play that again. Start from the very beginning right there, Jeff.
Okay.
My daughter just made these for me. They're so good.
Oh, you're talking about where she's going over the details, not the very first
No,
part.
she's talking about what they've turned over to the state. I mean, to the prosecutor or the defense.
First, with regard to item number 6 on the defendant's first motion to compel discovery. This involves training records of a couple of officers.
I think I went too far ahead, didn't I?
Officers who the state.
Yeah, you went too far.
Too far ahead. Sorry. Hold on. I got it. Usually around here.
About 13,000
There we go.
quick actions. Information that we have in a quick action. To date, we have discovered approximately about 13,000 pages of reports, 13,000 photographs, over 10,000 tips, and over 51 terabytes of audio.
All right, you can stop it there. Over 10,000 tips. That's a lot of tips. Now, how many of those tips do you think were coming from about 8 miles away of somebody driving a white Elantra that's all over the news? Parked at WSU's campus. And maybe, I don't know how true it is, but maybe a security guard saw it all over the news and he said, "Hey, we got a white Elantra here." Oh no, wait, it's not a 2013 white Elantra, 11 through 13. We kicked that dead horse all over the place, by the way.
We sure did.
That security guard, I'm just speculating, everyone. Picks up the phone, he says, "Hey, I got a white Elantra here." And he looks at the window sticker. It belongs to Brian T. Kohlberger. He's actually he's an intern here. He's working here at the school.
Teaching assistant, right?
Yeah, he's teaching assistant. Remember when that car showed up in, what was it? Where's the other white Elantra that was wrecked on the side of the road that T-Rev was like positive this is the car? Calls me up. "Man, if you look, this is the car." I'm like, "Dude, that's not the car." Got a guy walking around, looking in the windows. I mean, this is a car that the whole world's looking for. And it's pulled off to the side of the road, been in an accident, probably just waiting on a rotation wrecker to come get it. Or it's on a piece of, I don't know if it was private property or not. You couldn't really tell. Maybe waiting on the insurance adjuster to come total it out so they could haul it away. There was no harm in it sitting there. Everybody was like, "This is the car." I'm like, there's no way that's the car. That car would be bagged and no one would be near it. It'd have crime scene tape all around it. I was saying that. It's just unlikely. We still entertained it. We looked at, tried to look up where the car was from. It had a dealership sticker on it. Did all this stuff. Some guy was looking in it. And I'm like, there's no way. You know why I knew that? No cops anywhere around. But I also knew it because they already knew where that car was. They already knew they had their man. They were surveilling him already. See, this is what a lot of people don't realize. When that lead came in, that lead could have also come from his own sister, who, by the way, everyone forgets, actually, his father had him arrested for stealing his own sister's phone. Now think about that for a minute, people. You have your son arrested for stealing his sister's phone. Now, that's some tough love right there. But does that tell you what kind of dynamic the Kohlberger family was like around that time? What kind of person Brian Kohlberger was at that time? For them to go as far as to have him arrested for grand theft, mind you, because the cell phone's over $250 for stealing his sister's cell phone. And then he gets put into a program. Everything's hunky-dory and peachy, and life goes on. He completes the program. does what he's supposed to do, goes to sales university, you know, gets in with a professor there who ironically wrote a book on BTK. He's enamored with it. You know, she loves him, so she refers him to WSU's program. One of two people she says she's ever referred. I don't know. But think about that for a minute. How many of you have actually thought for a minute that the dynamic in that house was so bad that his own father would arrest him and his sister would want him arrested for stealing her phone? Had to be pretty bad at some point, didn't it? Had to be pretty bad. Just opine about that for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe
Like that
John, so
said.
you think some of the assumption is that maybe, okay, he struggled with a drug addiction. Is there like an assumption that, and then he was completely all better and he was a good person and had no issues? And
Hey, there's a
I know people
possibility that
struggle.
could happen. I believe people can be rehabilitated, except for PEDs, which I can't say that word on here. Child molesters, they can't be rehabilitated. The only thing that would rehabilitate them is a lobotomy. So just let that set in for a minute. And while you're thinking about that, what are the possibilities? Again, I'm speculating. I don't know for sure that his sister might think that he's a little bit off kilter. And her brother drives a white Elantra. He lives 8 miles away from Idaho University. Something's kind of, you know, making the hair stand up on my back. Well, she probably doesn't have hair on her back, but my back. Maybe I ought to make a phone call. She's already probably a little bitter still. She's probably had some, bad things happen, and has probably seen a lot more than any of us have. She probably knows down deep because she's both the sisters are psychology. I don't know if they're professors or doctors or but they majored in psychology. I know one's in the field, or both of them are in the field. So maybe she's like, you know what? I can be anonymous, but sometimes you just got to do the right thing. Maybe she called. We won't know until whenever this trial takes place, the answers to those questions. But I will tell you this much. They didn't accidentally just fall into Brian T. Kohlberger as their suspect. It was pretty simple. And all you need is one of the two things that I just described happen. Get a lead. Hey, my brother lives over there. He drives a white Elantra. He's kind of weird. He might have done something like this. I'm hoping and praying it's not him, but you might want to look into him. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Bam. Let's do some surveillance on that guy. Let's start doing a little background check on that guy. Let's wait till he pulls his trash out. Pull some garbology on that guy. And compare it to the DNA that we found on the knife sheath, which we know is male DNA, but he's not in CODIS. For those who don't know what CODIS is, that's basically the database that convicted felons get put in. When you're arrested and you're convicted of a felony, they do a buccal swab in your mouth, and your DNA goes into the system. There's not an option. You do it, or you're forced to do it. That's how they create the CODIS database. One of the ways, the main way.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah. Wait for him to come out and clean his car.
Right.
Wiping that car down with paper towels, Windex, doing all the cleaning that we did. Coming out with gloves on, discarding his stuff. I'm sitting back behind a tree with my binocs on my infrared, night vision, watching him walk over to a neighbor's house and put garbage in there. I've done it many times. I've dove in dumpsters and retrieved trash after I was surveilling discarded their trash. Trash is abandoned property, by the way. Once you take it down to the curb, it's free game. And some guy I was watching some ridiculous show the other day, and this guy acts like he knows what he's talking about. Sounds a little, he sounds like he's versed a little bit, but he goes, "That was a gated community. They would have needed to have a search warrant to get that trash." Where do these people come up with this stuff?
It's like,
is there case law? I would like to see the case law on that. Somebody look it up. There might be case law somewhere, but abandoned property is abandoned property. So anybody walking through that neighborhood, it was a gated community, but it's, what's his face? Jay, what's his face just went in there. He didn't have to have permission to get in there. He just drove right in.
yeah, there's a lot of confusion.
If he's driving right in and he sees a guitar, Jeff, laying on the side of the road that somebody put by the trash, that guy can't come up there and take it. He needs a search warrant, right? This guy actually
got to have an amplifier sitting right here. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So Jeff, hey, there you go. There's always something, Jeff. You've always got something to relate, man. Whether it's a turtle, whether it's a turtle getting chomped on by your dog, and we're showing. I mean, it's just amazing.
Lucky. We're on a roll. We're just getting lucky.
So according to this guy in this show, I'm sure some of you know who it is. I don't even remember the name of the show. Kind of silly. The guy's like sitting there chain smoking the whole time. Other guys over here, yeah, you need a search warrant. He couldn't have just gone in there and taken that trash because it's a gated community. I spit my drink out. I was laughing so hard. Somebody actually sent me that footage because viewers, if you guys see stuff like that, Detective John 68 at Gmail. If you can go ahead and take the liberty of taking that clip and sending it to me, we're gonna start. Yes, Danny. Whatever his name is. We're gonna go ahead and start. They're gonna be our content. It's gonna be beautiful. So you guys can send me that stuff, and we're just gonna, we're gonna have fun with it. Back to Mr. Kohlberger and how he was caught. How this, this congenital, this DNA that they're talking about. Oh, we got to have that. The geniality stuff. Did it ever occur to you that the police were surveilling him at WSU already? So what did they do? They run a background check on Mr. Kohlberger. And wait a second. We got video surveillance of a car that didn't have a tag. Oh, wait. We ran this tag. This tag was just issued to this car last week. Now it's got a tag on the front because Pennsylvania doesn't require a front tag. I'm in Florida. We don't require a front tag. A lot of states don't. I don't know how many states. Someone would have to look that up. A lot of states don't require. Yeah.
And it's not just not require it. They don't even give you a second tag, right? It's like we don't
have a choice. A tag. It goes on the back of the car or truck.
Right.
and that's it. We don't have
Mhm.
to attach one to the front, which is redundant in my opinion. And it screws up the aesthetics of the car, man. Who wants to, you know, on my Porsche, wow, I'm gonna want to stick a tag on the front. No, man. They need to peel that.
That's where your AC/DC logo goes.
Yeah, that's right. So
AC/DC.
let's think about that for a minute. So not only do we have a lead, maybe a bunch of leads. We don't know, but she said how many leads?
10,000?
10,000 leads. That's a lot of leads.
Right.
It's not as many subscribers as a lot of these YouTube people have, but it's a lot of leads. So they're doing surveillance, find the car. Maybe they even actually saw him affixing the new tags to the car. What do you think about that? That's a possibility.
Mhm.
Wouldn't that be cool if they actually have video surveillance of him actually affixing these tags to the car? Because he'd have to use little tap cons to go into the front bumper. There's little nibbles in the front bumper, little tip things that are indented, and they're designed for that. So you use these little tap con screws and you screw them in there.
Mhm.
Wouldn't that be cool if they had that? I mean, you have to be innocent though, still, right? That's just a coincidence.
Well, would they mail his plates to Pennsylvania, or they'd only mail them to?
No, he had to get, because
So he would have
his residence was now in a lot of states you have 30 days. So I don't know if he was,
or maybe he got
you
them
know,
in person.
if he was just all of a sudden he had an epiphany and he's like, oh, I've been here. How long was he there? 6 months? I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Somebody will hit me in chat and give me the exact day that he moved there. But all of a sudden he had this epiphany. I need to get my tags.
Right.
He goes and gets
He
his
claimed
tags,
that.
and now all of a sudden we're looking for a white Elantra, allegedly, without a front tag. But not only is it not a 2011 to 13, but it's a 2015, and now it's got a tag on it. So, Dad, no, don't worry, it's not me. Well, you know, son, they're looking for a white Elantra. Yeah, it's not me, Dad. That was a 2011 to 13. You know, my car is a 2015, and I got a tag on the front. Okay. Will you pick me up at the airport?
Now would Dad say,
Sure,
but now,
Dad.
Brian, you like to drive around at night alone. You sure it wasn't you? Could have been you.
Yeah.
I thought of you first, son, when I heard it happen when it happened.
Sure, Dad, I'll pick you up at the airport. Boy, I would have loved to have been a fly on the ceiling of that car, and I'd drive all the way back the 3,000 miles across country to the Poconos. It had to be a weird ride, because any prudent person would think this ain't looking good.
You think Dad
Not to
was like,
mention-
son, what are you showering with now? You smell like Clorox.
Yeah.
Or is that the car? Maybe it's a car.
Why are your knuckles so jacked up on your right hand?
Right. Did you
going
see
on?
that?
Are you hitting the heavy bag without your gloves again?
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
How about the police officer, or was it a WSU officer? Like almost
WSU.
exactly a month earlier, before this happened, pulled him over.
Right.
He kind of got a lesson about crosswalks and how they work and being in the middle of the intersection. Do you think when this went down, like if you're an officer, John,
I was a mall cop. I was a mall cop.
You're a mall
and I
cop, yeah,
stole my badge.
You're Paul Blart.
Even better.
I stole 2 sergeant badges from the department I worked for, and I bought my uniform at Walmart. I bought my uniform at Walmart. And you had me on the show for about 7 months, loving everything. I basically built your show because you had like very few subscribers, and then we start having some credibility on the show. And no, because I announced that I want to start my own show. Now I'm not credible anymore. I'm fake. I'm a felon. I beat my kids, right? And beat Tanner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you later. Go
No,
out there
we
and
do
tell
it.
Rita I'm gonna beat her too.
We do have to give a little bit of credit to T-Road. You know why?
What?
He brought all us together.
Yeah. Thank you, T-Rev.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at this team you've helped build.
Because God help me if
You
I ever
made
had
me.
conversation.
Some of his people came in. Oh, DJ, he made you. You rode his coattails.
So
Man, that guy couldn't even articulate a sentence. He was wearing no shirt. I'm like, his new favorite word was a word that I had to define for him, and that was integrity. I said, look, man, you need to have some integrity on the show. You need to, be professional. What do you mean integrity? Integrity. Do you know what integrity is? Promise you, would not fib about this. He did not know what the word integrity meant. Felt bad for the little fella. I was very patient with him, and I'm like, hey, look, this is what you need to do. You gotta, you've already got the show established. You got half the battle. Let's try to turn it around. And if everybody remembers, he kind of did a big turn. Wasn't smoking whatever he was smoking so much. Was wearing a shirt. Used some big words. It was working out for him a little bit. But we don't want to talk about him. I'm sorry. Quit talking about
I know. I think I did.
We need a button to hit
Bad,
when you
bad.
start talking.
bad.
But
No,
no,
one
John,
thing
but John, think about it. If you were that officer that 1 month before the crime happened, or is it less than one? There might be 1 day less. You pull him over. You saw the conversation. He's talking about crosswalks. We don't have crosswalks like this in Pennsylvania. So then 1 month later, you're hearing that they're looking for a white Elantra. Does that, as an officer, does that come back to your mind? It's only a month.
Sure it does.
And the thing I think that makes it memorable.
Watch that body cam video. How long was that officer engaged with him on that stop?
Yeah.
He made her go look up the statute. Do you recall?
Right. She had to flip the thing over and look at it. Also, too, the thing I think that would have made it memorable is that I think the dispatcher at one point said, I can't remember. There was some confusion about it being a Sonata versus an Elantra.
Yeah,
so just the fact that you had a conversation, a little extra words that you had with another officer as a dispatcher saying, no, not a Sonata. It's a Elantra. I think you remember that. And I think when
it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Sonata, Elantra, Hyundai, Sonata, Hyundai, Elantra. I believe they're both made by Hyundai. Very common that happens. But she did correct herself. But you know what? Some of these creators didn't rewind and listen to the dispatcher actually correct herself when the officer said something. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a mistake. It was an Elantra.
All right. Over radio,
they ran with this. They ran with this whole crock of BS like they always do. It's disgusting. You guys want to come to a real show and have real content and talk about real facts? Come to this show because we're just starting. We've got a great team. We work well together. We work great together. Well is not even in the vocabulary. Great.
Yeah.
Kelly is my sister from another mister, and Jeff's my brother from another mother.
I don't think I've ever heard that. That's good.
And so we got
Another
we got a couple more and a few more in the pipe. I'm gonna have all kinds of siblings by the time this is over.
It wouldn't be any difference to me. I had 15 brothers and sisters.
Good Lord, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, where were we? Oh, how did we catch this guy?
Yeah.
Well, we could go get we could go to a quadruple signal 5, walk through the house, determine that obviously it was an edged weapon,
Mm-hmm.
determine by looking at it that it was a 7-inch K-bar.
Yes,
Go find
7.
a sheath for a 7-inch K-bar. Act like an imposter. Let's see. Go to the school. Act like you're a student. Walk up to your professor or whatever he was. Say, hey man, can you check this K-bar? Is this a K-bar sheath right here? Can you hold this for me? Will that snap work? Can you? Man, I couldn't get it to work. Can you press that snap up and down for me? Get it back. Go back to the house. Somehow get past all the crime scene techs. And what did she say?
Yeah.
Placed it.
Place the knife. Place the knife
Mm-hmm.
next to 2 deceased, beautiful young ladies.
Partially under 1, right? Partially under Maddie, I think.
I don't know. Heard so many different stories, you never know. But we will know. That's what happened, everyone. I'm sticking to it. That's how it happened. Sorry, I'm not going to hear anything else. This man was set up. Everybody, every cop involved in this is crooked. Old Brian T. Kohlberger, he pissed somebody off. They just went after him and decided, you know what? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, that's the guy. Oh, wait a second. How are we going to get the car in the videos? Doing how many laps was it, Jeff?
Right, 5.
5
Well, 4.
laps.
4 times
4,
fully
yeah,
around.
4 laps. He picked
4
up
laps.
speed every time a little bit, right? Didn't we
Well, the
clock
last
that?
one. The last one, he was faster.
What was the average speed? And then it went up. Do you remember?
I don't remember the speed, but it was 2 seconds faster.
I meant the time. Yeah, not faster.
Oh, the times?
So,
What is it? 3:30, 3:39, 3:56, 4:05, and 4:07.
oh yeah, we got to make that happen too.
I'm on it.
Wait, Jeff, that's all fake video, isn't it?
Gotta be.
You know,
right?
when you and I were on the phone that night, and I'm like, dude, grab a 2015 white Elantra and just superimpose it on top of that over the brow. Remember the eye? Everyone, you've heard me talk about the eyebrow. You know, when you look at the side of a car, when you look from the front of the window to the back of the window, whether it's a 2-door or 4-door, there's a brow. Well, if it's just a 2-door, it's not, you know, like an eyeball, but a 4-door, it's like an eyeball, like my shape of my eyes. You can identify a lot of cars by that. You can say, okay, well, this is an Altima and this is an Elantra. The Elantra comes together like this. The Altima goes like this. Probably an Ultima.
In 2024, they're coming out with the bushy eyebrow on the side.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you can buy those.
Keep the rain out when you got the windows
You know, you can actually get the eyelashes for the headlights and stuff on VW Bugs.
Right. Right.
So I told Jeff, you can make it happen. And he's like, all right. Like 15, 20 minutes later, he not only brings it out, but he makes it blink. Bloop, 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 right on top of the car. Absolutely perfect. Matches up perfect. And you still had some people saying, that's not an Elantra. I couldn't believe but how do you know that was Brian Kohlberger's car? There's 10,000 Elantras. Okay, yeah. At 4 o'clock in the morning, about 100 yards away from the scene of a quadruple homicide where a white Elantra's already been seen on video from other cameras. I mean, yeah. Yep, can't be him. Can't be him. Got to be somebody else. Probably a female did it. Heard that one too. Oh, wait a second. The greatest one was, hey, Kim. So tell me about these 5 perpetrators that went in there. Oh, well, Detective John, well, just describe one for me. Well, one of them, he was a plumber from University of Idaho, and he had his pipe wrench with him, and he hit Ethan in the head with it and knocked him out. I'm like, that's it. Credibility is already gone, but now it's out the door. And no one else, after hearing that interview with that nutbag, and that's what she is, an absolute nutbag, would even entertain a conversation with WSU Kim after that interview. I lost all respect for each and every creator out there that had her on the show for clicks. It was disgusting to me, and it should be disgusting to each and every one of you.
Well, also too, John, if it was a wrench, now maybe it was a mod.
It could have been a mod.
With a wrench.
It could have been a mod.
Blue wrench?
It could have been a mod from the T-Rev show that got a wrench taken away because she came over to somebody else's show and just commented and chat.
I mean, I'm personally all for leaving no stone unturned. You know, you consider all possibilities. But some are definitely out there. You know,
anything's possible though, Jeff.
Right.
It's like, what was that? What was Dumb and Dumber when he says, so do I have a chance? Like more like 1 in a million. So I got a chance.
All right. So you're saying
he just doesn't give up.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give up.
Well, you know, it's funny because I think about like when the public thought, okay, this is one of the jacks clearly must have done this. And then the FBI and law enforcement, it's like, no, we got this. Hold my beer, right? Same thing with the car in Oregon that they found. Everybody thought it was that thing just sat there. It's like the FBI and LA's like, hold my beer. We got this.
That's what I talked about. It's
actually, that with the car in Oregon, I remember we had this woman came on this other podcast. We were talking. She went down there with her camera. She had taken a bunch of pictures earlier. Remember that?
I remember.
And her pictures of the car were going around. She went down there like around midnight and live on our live stream, and she went down there. That was you don't mind if I say the YouTuber that was from, because
I don't care.
I love them. Mommy Ramblings blog with Carolyn. Yeah. Carolyn is a host. Scooter, love them. But yeah, we had her live. She answered a Facebook message, and then she came and she hopped in her car. She said, I'll go down. It's just a couple blocks from here. She went down, drove down there. Yep. She parked really far away. We were worried about her because it's like midnight and she's going out with her camera, showing the car, still sitting right where it was for days. And she was explaining that area was where she'd noticed like people would ditch cars there, frequently. Mm-hmm. And that the police down there were they didn't have time for deal with that. So maybe it gets picked up, maybe it doesn't, but it sat there for a long time.
All right, we're getting off track. I love it. We're
Little
getting
bit.
off track. Hey, that's how we roll.
Squirrel.
That's how we roll on Crime Analysis 101. We get into these, you know, realistic rabbit holes. I mean, I just got to cover them. You know, I just got to talk about these other creators that make money hand over fist, counting on your ignorance, counting on you being easily manipulated. I hope no one on this that subscribes on this channel is that naive. Come on over from the dark side. Come on over here. We're realistic here. Now, when there's no suspect, I mean, there's no arrest, and there's a bunch of different suspects. You know, I've talked about this months ago, and I heard another creator just pretty much saying exactly what I said during one of her shows the other day. We all were allowed to speculate. So like Jeff just said, we had the jacks. I mean, the usual suspects. All you got to do is have method and opportunity. Motive is a bonus. You don't have to prove motive. Everyone thinks that you have to prove motive. Motive is only, you know, you only usually get motive from the perp himself. He's the only one that can tell you the true motive, unless it's like a bank robbery or something obvious. But in a homicide, usually you have to get a confession to know what the motive is exactly. Method and opportunity. That's all we need. Did Brian Kohlberger have method? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy's a kickboxer. He's lost 100 pounds. He jogs. He takes long drives. Just got to push that accelerator and that brake for these long drives. I mean, he's in shape. Do you have opportunity? Well, I mean, his defense attorney herself said he just likes to go out for night drives. That's what he does. There's opportunity. Motive. That's what I want to get into. That's where I think we should go moving forward. Let's try to figure out what the motive was. And we can all speculate on that. And that's okay. Will we ever know the motive? Maybe. I doubt it, though, because he's going to want to give up the motive only if that DP is lifted. And I can tell you right now, if the state backs off of the death penalty and putting a piece of lead in this man's head because they want to know what the motive was, they're cowards. Absolute cowards. I would hope and pray that they wouldn't lift the death penalty to avoid a long, drawn-out case to get him to plea, so they'll get a reason why. I don't care what the reason why is. If I'm one of those girls, if my daughter Charlie, who's 18 years old, was one of those girls, I tell you right now, I'm 55 years old. I've lived my life. He wouldn't make it to trial. I digress from that. Again, I'm wondering, guys. I'm sorry. I got a lot on my mind. I just want to share. I just want to share my thoughts.
So, John, what do you think?
I'm hoping somebody will agree with me. But, you know, if you don't, it's okay. But I won't, you know, if you want to go to another show and I see you over there, I'm not going to kick you out of my show and say, hey, you need to be loyal. You're going to be on this show. You got to be loyal.
Who does
You're
that?
a traitor.
Who does that? Nobody does that.
Yeah, who would do that? I mean, little Napoleon? Is that who would do that?
I got to say, I always wanted to do a jib jab video and never did, but now somebody did it for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to do that, man. We got to come up with one. I mean,
I think jib jab's
he's
still in business. Right? They were always cool.
I don't know where he is. He's gonna come back. He did some stupid video. It actually incriminated himself. I'm just saying it's pretty dumb. And if you delete it, we got it. No worries. Old Jeffrey here, he burned it for me. It's there forever.
I had to have it. Like I said, I've never been in a jib jab video now.
Oh yeah, wasn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have photoshopped the glare out of your glasses though, or something. Could have spent a little time. But anyway, I'm sorry, Kelly. I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I was going to try and kind of pull in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, reel me back. Well, how much time we got? An hour. We got an hour and 35 minutes. We're good to go. I got marathon blood in me. That other creator would run like 14 hours.
Yeah.
And my wife is watching. She does not want to hear that we're going to be going for a marathon.
Hey, I asked for an extended hall pass for Jeff.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Kelly. I don't even know where we were, but go ahead.
I know. I know that we're going to do a show that goes more in depth with DNA with our new mod. Actually, she needs a wrench, Tanner.
Oh yeah, we need to give her a wrench.
If you could give Biology 101 a wrench.
Hold on a second. I'm going to mute for a second. You go ahead and talk. I'm going to get this handled. I'm sorry, Bio 101.
It's okay.
I just get to run in my mouth, and it's just, it's bad.
Oh, good.
It's bad. Kelly's got. Hey, I told you, Kelly, you got to reel me in.
I know.
Kelly, what did you want to show a video or what?
Well, I wanted to touch on, because it just drives me up a wall with Dan Taylor and the misinformation out there. And it's like, even the media is taking up this whole thing. Oh, Dan Taylor's going to get the DNA thrown out. First of all,
hold on 1 second, Kelly. Hey,
yeah.
Bio 101, just type something in the chat so we can give you a wrench. And Jeff, you can too.
Oh, I think I got one.
We already gave you one.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Kelly. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The DNA, they convolute it. They make it like they just say DNA, and then everybody thinks that it's the touch DNA when it's the IgG DNA. That if the prosecution doesn't want to bring the evidence that is not able to be processed, he doesn't have to. And so this whole thing about, the DNA is suspect and there's 3 other DNA sources. Well, those 3 other DNA sources, they couldn't be uploaded to CODIS because they're not viable. And the prosecution said it, and it seems like it falls on deaf ears. And so I just really wanted to bring that up. I'm so tired of the misinformation.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're driving that home, and I'm gonna drive it further home.
I knew you would.
So
he likes driving.
We're gonna have a show where we're gonna talk about just DNA, but I want to talk about this for a minute. So we're back to, we got a viable suspect now, right?
She'll be back.
Okay. We got a viable suspect. So we do surveillance. We're waiting on, we pulled trash. We're waiting on the DNA from the sheath. But you know what? Let's figure out for sure if the DNA that we pulled from this trash matches up with the guy's name at the residence that he lives in PA, and we'll just go pull that trash, and we'll might get the results back quicker from a private entity that can show that, hey, yeah, it's how many octillion or whatever it was, Jeff?
Yeah,
I don't know.
5.7, something like that.
Yeah, it's like the
3.7.
distance from the sun to the, I don't know. It was crazy.
But you're
But there was
saying
a
there's
chance.
a chance. You're saying
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
But what are the chances that that guy at that house, being the dad of the guy that deposited the DNA on the male-female snap on a knife sheath found under or about or near two brutally Signal 5 bodies? I don't know. But you know what? We don't need it. You know why we don't need it? Because we've already got the DNA from the sheath. We already pulled the trash on him. All we got to do is compare the two. So if that DNA from the sheath matches the guy that we pulled the trash from, and then we have a buccal swab that we got post-arrest to go ahead and confirm that, why do we need the other DNA? We don't. So we don't even need to bring it into evidence. Why would we bring something into evidence that will go off of a family tree, and these people will go so far as to say, we need to subpoena everyone in that family tree? Because that's what they would do. That's what Ann Taylor would do. That's how ridiculous she is. So the judge is, it's not going to happen. They're not going to get to talk about that DNA because it's irrelevant. Does not matter. That is not how they found him. That was a tool. That's all it was. It was a tool. All you simply need is somebody to say, hey, that guy's got a white Elantra. And me say, okay, let's watch him. Let's pull the DNA and compare it to this DNA. And we got our guy. If
Don't
that's
you
him,
think
that's
too,
our guy.
John, can you look at it this way too, that like law enforcement, people say, why didn't they arrest him earlier? Why didn't they just pick him up earlier? Isn't it possible that they would have gone through that process? He's a citizen. You compare the trash, you find out, oh, he's got nothing to do with this. And then you just move on. You never arrest him, nothing. It seems to me like that's actually that's kind of a nice thing
what
to
are we
do.
looking for? But what are we looking for? Modus operandi. The method of operation. So we're looking for a weapon. So at the point where he realized that they saw my car, he's got to get out of Dodge now. He's got to go. He's going to haul butt and go across country with his dad because he's afraid to fly, and he's going to drive that car across country. He's got to get out of Dodge. He's worried. They're surveilling him. They're building a case, making sure they got all their because there's people like Ann Taylor out there, making sure that they got all their I's dotted and their T's crossed. Because this is a major case. It's a quad. That's 4 stabbing. So I got to make it right. So what are the chances that it could have just been as simple as that? And you know what else? What are the chances that he could go in there, do that heinous act, get out, not be seen at 4:30 in the morning, get in his car after he probably disrobed outside of the car? People are like, they would never have time to do that. Really? How long does it take to take a sweatshirt and a pair of Dickie pants off and your shoes? 10 seconds?
Even less if it's coveralls.
Even less if it's a tie-back suit or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if this is, something to put out there, but that shower curtain that they didn't have, what better thing to have in your car than a big old shower curtain that you could just get in and sit on and not worry about depositing DNA all over the seats and everything like that. Or have that shower curtain ready for you to just disrobe, throw your stuff in the shower curtain, ball it up, throw it in the trunk, or throw it in the back seat and go discard it.
It's very plausible.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just putting it out there. He didn't have a shower curtain. I mean, that's
in his apartment, right?
Yeah, it
it's
is
kind
an
of a weird
apartment,
thing.
and it's upstairs, so you kind of want to have a shower curtain so you don't leak water down to the apartments down below.
The other
I
thing
think that was
too,
weird.
if it was, because in my mind, I picture him maybe either he put the shower curtain down, folded out either behind the car at the trunk or
Yeah.
by the sliding glass door. And either one of those, if somebody had come up and said, "What are you doing?" You just said, I'm picking up. If he put it by the sliding glass door, because these beer cans all over the place are ridiculous. I'm just going to put them in here. I'm taking them to recycling. You have it's not like you're doing something weird. And maybe that's why I'm sliding away from the Home Depot bucket, because maybe that
Well, I mean, you got to have
Depot bucket behind the
hey,
house. That looks
Jeff,
strange.
you got to have the homicide kit.
Well, okay.
Come on.
All right. So I'm keeping the bucket. The bucket can stay.
Keep the bucket.
Bucket's gotta
Can't
stay.
get rid of the bucket. Got to have the homicide kit.
The bucket's good.
All right, man, we are so off track. I hope you guys are still with us and having fun. We love it.
I
Love having
know.
you. Kelly, where were we at? Where were we at on the videos?
Yeah, what's our next video, Jeff?
Where are we at on the videos?
Yeah, we think we just kind of paused it
Our
right where we
plan
were.
kind of went out the window.
So I think that we're at the point where the state is responding back to, Miss Ethical by saying, "Hey, look, everything we have, they have."
Mm-hmm.
But let me cover that real quick. If they don't have it, it's because it hasn't been given to them yet. And remember what I said about the multiple agencies involved here. That CAS report. Let's talk about that CAS report real quick. Why did they want more time, everyone? Tell you why they wanted more time. Because they wanted that CAS report. Because that CAS report is going to tell them everything that the state has on old Mr. Kohlberger and his cell phone.
Oh,
So they can build that alibi. They can build that alibi around that CAS report. Because now they know exactly where he was. So, Brian, you're going to have to come up with a reason why you were here. Oh, yeah, I was there because that's my jogging route. I run around that oak tree, back down, skip up through the trail there, hop that fence. It's part of my agility course. That's what it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Just as much sense.
That's why they wanted more time.
Right?
Yeah.
What's that, Jeff?
It makes just as much sense as some of the other stuff that you hear.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's a doozy. I can't wait for the movies to start coming out with the different theories. They need to come out with one quick. A&E or somebody, or one of those, the Hallmark Channel or somebody.
They're waiting for the cast.
Let's turn it into a love story. Oh, man. So anyway, we're going to play that and finish up with that. It's going to be the state responding to her allegations of
withholding evidence.
Withholding evidence.
You hit the button there, John.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Where are we at? All right, we're right here.
You know what? I'm going to make sure that you're not hearing it through just my microphone. I'm going to unplug my microphone when I hit play.
So we are down to just a few.
That's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
First, with regard to item number 6 on the defendant's first motion to compel discovery. This involves training records of a couple of officers.
Okay, you can stop there.
Officers who the state would.
All right, so now we're on training records, right? Oh, The state doesn't want to provide the training records for all the officers involved. Let's cover that. So during a major case, homicide. Now you're talking about Moscow, Idaho here. I don't remember, Jeff, what were the sworn? Was it like 21 sworn officers or something? It wasn't very many. Or I think 80 something total personnel. I'm probably wrong, everyone. I'm going back 8 months. But they don't have many cops. So you got a quad, Signal 5. What you do is you set up a perimeter, probably about 4 blocks at least for that area, and you start canvassing. Then you ask for mutual aid, which is what they did. They got the Idaho State Police out there. Here we would call the county, we would call, all the surrounding, municipalities, and we all have a mutual aid agreement. If they need us, we'll go. If we need them, they'll come. That's how it works. It's called good police work. But guess what? Those things take time to coordinate. Okay? It's 4 something in the morning. Remember that. It's not like you're going to pick up the phone and have 50 cops converging on a quadruple Signal 5 when it's 4 o'clock in the morning and there's a graveyard shift. There's not that many cops out there anyway. So you got to call people in. So what you do is you start getting these officers in. First, you got to set a perimeter. Got to make sure no one else gets in or out. And you start knocking on doors.
And this is actually all starting around noon, right?
Yeah. Now, remember, I was just going to correct myself. This wasn't when they started doing that. It was about afternoon. So, but still, you're going to have to get a lot of cops out there in a short amount of time. I'm still on the 4 a.m. stuff.
Right.
Not going to happen right away. But it can be done. And it was done. They set a perimeter. They did door knocks. Where's that camera? Where's that light bulb camera, Jeff? That we always talk about.
Right. Yeah. 111.
Light bulb camera right next door. A light bulb camera. Pay attention to that one, folks. If that was an operational camera, ooh, that one's going to be a good one. The one where they were where you see the officer going up the steps, canvassing, by the way, when some of these other creators saying they weren't doing their job, they weren't doing anything. They were canvassing. That officer going up those stairs was canvassing. He saw that camera. He went up and knocked on the door and he says, "Hey, is that a DVR or how's that set up? What is it? Can you voluntarily give us that footage or do we need to get a search warrant?" "Sure, officer. Here you go."
And what a great position for that camera. I mean, it's a dead end area, right? You see him coming in, you see him going out. You see him going in, you see him coming out 5 times. You see him going in, you come out.
Do you think for 1 minute that that's the only camera right there?
Oh, no.
Right?
I think not. Oh, wait a second. It's not, is it, Jeff?
What's that old show? Smile. You're on Candid Camera.
just up the hill there. If you're facing, you go to the left, just down the front of that apartment complex and around the corner. There's another camera, isn't there? The 3-point turn camera, the loop-de-loop camera, the camera where you took the 2015 Elantra, put it right on top of that allegedly 11-13 Elantra, and it was a dead perfect match. That camera. Now let's address that. That footage didn't come out till much later. Well, here's why. Because that was probably a DVR because it's a complex. So they went and they took the DVR. Because it's probably not a burnable CD on there. It's not or disc on there. So they took the DVR. They took it into their forensics team. Forensics team went through the DVR. Not just for that night. Probably went back as far as it would go. It could be on a DVR like that. I don't know. I know the DVRs at like CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, they keep footage up to a year on those DVRs.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing. Now, when you got an area that's motion detected DVR, it burns a lot of space, so they have to delete it quicker. But these major stores now, those DVRs are unbelievable. They will hold data for a long time.
How many terabytes?
Oh, I have no idea.
Probably around 50 something. I don't know.
But this one was probably just one that you pick up at Sam's or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it probably had a couple months data on it.
Yeah.
They take the DVR. They painstakingly watch every minute on there. They're looking for suspect vehicle, any vehicle moving around, especially that night or that early morning, any vehicle. But when they find that vehicle, they're also going to look at previous days. And they're going to look for that vehicle again. Maybe he was there before. Well, we know he was, right? Up to 12 times. Maybe we got him doing his night drives. That's what he just loves to do, that loop. It's Daytona International Speedway right there. We're going to have that back up too, Jeff. We're going to have those videos back up and break those down again. Anyway, I don't want to bore you people. I mean, it's just, we're talking a lot of common sense here. But we need to, let's finish this up, and then we're going to do some call-ins. I want everyone to get ready for some call-ins because I want to hear you talk. I want to hear your opinions. I'm going to sit and listen. Kelly's going to listen. Jeff's going to listen.
Can I call in too? I got questions. Can I call in?
Yeah, you call in.
Where's my phone? I can't find my phone.
But let's finish this part up real quick. We're not going to do call-ins right this second. But let's keep going, Kelly. Keep me on the track, please. I am like a damn 80-mile-an-hour locomotive going into a curve with 15 tons of coal stacked up 50 feet in the air. I'm going to tip over and go off the tracks. Reel me in.
All right. What's our next video?
Let's go to the next video.
You've got me. I totally forgot.
We did the
we ended with the state arguing with
we had the little clip of the woman in red with the prosecution withholding evidence clip.
Yeah.
Hit that button, John, and
let's go. I'm hitting the button.
Teamwork. There we go.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, this is good.
All right, this is a good little excerpt right here. Listen to this guy. He ends it right here. Yeah. Bam. Go ahead.
Another thing that the defense is arguing about, and we should mention Brian Kohberger will be back in court on Tuesday afternoon out there in Moscow, Idaho. His defense team is saying, look, they filed 3 or 4 motions to compel now they want the judge to say to the prosecution, turn over what we're asking for. They're not giving us what we want. Also, they want all of these grand jury materials. The defense wants to kind of analyze the grand jury in this case and see how the grand jurors were selected and whether or not the process was flawed. They want to get the indictment tossed out.
The defense is not entitled to grand jury materials as a regular.
All right, stop right there, Jeff.
Okay.
Did you hear the attorney? Now, I've said this a plethora of times. I'm not an attorney, but I do know that the defense is not entitled to grand jury testimony, selection, anything like that. Our Constitution goes way back. over 100 years. And there's a reason for all that when it comes to the grand jury. And I'm not going to go over it with you. You guys can look it up yourself and look and come up with an answer. But we don't. Grand juries they're for probable cause. They're to cut through the BS of having all these insignificant hearings. Let's just cut to the chase, indict this guy, and get the ball rolling. We don't need to have all these evidentiary hearings. We don't need to have all this stuff. Let's just go ahead and go get a grand jury, have them look at the evidence, and let them decide. Because that's what our system was. We're Americans. That's how it works. Jury of our peers. And if the grand jury decides that we got enough here, there's enough meat to go ahead and push through and go to trial, then that's what we're going to do. But we're not going to let some attorney drag this thing out for 2 years, filing these frivolous motions, asking for this ridiculous nonsense when it's not needed. Let's just go ahead and have a trial. We'll have some suppression hearings. We'll do all that stuff, but we don't need to do all the little things that are associated with some trials. And this guy nails it.
Yeah.
Says it perfectly. So rewind that part, Jeff, and play that again, please. What he says. Real quick. What I have scrolling down here before he does that this is Sherry. She's the mother of Austin and Lana, who are, Lana is 13 and Austin is 14. Lana wrote a letter to her alleged father, T-Rev, who says that they're not her kids and they're not his kids, and he wants a DNA test. Can somebody send T-Rev some money for a test? I mean, he obviously needs it, I guess, because he's not gonna claim these children until he gets his DNA test. That's what he says in his rap song. I think that's what it says. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. It was all gibberish to me. It was horrible, by the way. Straight up horrible.
Disgusting.
So anyway, this guy nails it. We don't need to have all this stuff. Let's just roll with it. Look at the PCA, and if PCA has enough, I think we can go ahead and roll with the trial. But anyway, back to this thing on the bottom real quick. So Sherry is T-Rev's current wife, has been since 2010. She works her butt off. She was telling me the other day, she said, "Hey, I'm sorry I couldn't call you back. I worked a double. The kids have school and I'm trying to get together, trying to buy them some new clothes." This woman has struggled for many years.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Section 8 housing at one time. She's fought her way out of that. She's providing a home for them, but it's tight every week. Kids aren't old enough to go get a job yet to help out. But we can help out. This is her Cash App. It's the $SHERI SWEE Sweet. Sherry Sweet. That's the Cash App. That's hers. We have nothing to do with it. So I'm sure somebody's going to say, "Oh, yeah. They got money off of this." No. This goes straight to her.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mother of those 2 teenage kids who need some help. And I said we would use this forum to help her because of a tyrant that accused her of being a prostitute on a live show.
Just disgusting.
The mother of his children, he accused her of being a prostitute. He's disgusting. And oh, did I get to Todd? Oh yeah, Todd will never be on your show again. I'm going to post that stuff too. I've got it. He's been sending me text all day long. He hasn't been on to watch any of the show. He was taken by YouTube, brother. You disgusting POS. Karma.
Yep.
Best dish served cold. Jerk. Anyway, get back to this.
Yep.
Help out Sherry, please. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
$1.50,
Send them
whatever. It
some
adds
more.
up.
Yeah.
That's her Cash App down there.
You want to hear him say that, what he said before again?
Yeah, let's hear it one more time.
The defense is not entitled to grand jury materials as a regular part of discovery.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Hold
Sit
on.
right there.
Listen up. Listen up. Ready?
Bye, Felicia.
Did we get that? Let's play it again.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, one more. One more. I love this new toy.
What is it?
Bye, Felicia.
Can't
from
hear it.
Friday.
Oh, but
Oh, y'all didn't hear it?
no, it's not. It's. I think it's being picked up by your mic, but it's this. It sounds
Oh
far away.
man, we got to fix that. That's a toilet flushing. And the other one's by Felicia. All right, let's move
Bye,
on.
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
All right, see, what do we have next?
All right, this is a
This
good
was her intro to things.
This is where we are right now, people. This is where we are in the case. We are at the point where let's talk about the right to a speedy trial. Everyone's got a right to a speedy trial, right? I mean, who wants to sit in jail for months on end, waiting on the state to put their case together when you're an innocent man? You want your trial right now. Get me the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm innocent.
He's waiting to be exonerated.
Do we have that? Do we have that part where she's asking for that date? Don't we have that, Jeff?
No, I don't think we.
We
I
didn't
don't think
find
we
that?
found that clip. No.
Oh, well, there's
Not
actually a
yet.
clip where she's actually, I mean, careful what you wish for. I mean, I can kind of give a summary of what she says. You know, basically she's pretty cocky about it. Yeah, we'll be ready by October 2nd's fine with us. It's out there. We just didn't have time to find it. It came up to the last minute. I'm like, we need to find that. And we can kind of impeach her on what she said. Because now what's she doing? More backstroking. You know, my client, he's willing to waive his right to speedy trial. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Why
It's
didn't you just waive
interesting.
that right?
Here's the quote
What's that?
from his attorney. This was, I guess, the other attorney. Koberger's attorney shared a statement on behalf of his client. He says, quote, Mr. Koberger is eager to be exonerated of these charges and looks forward to resolving these matters as promptly as possible.
Didn't that come from the Pennsylvania attorney, though?
Right. That's the other attorney.
Yeah, that was the Pennsylvania. That was the extradition attorney representing the family. So anyway, Harvard lawyer Lee, she's very sharp. I don't know. I'd have to look up her credentials, but she almost acts like a professor. So
yeah, I enjoy her shows.
She breaks it down. But there's nothing that she has said here that you're about to hear that you haven't heard come out of these lips. Same exact things. You know, these are not, you know, everyone knows a lot of this stuff.
We'd just rather watch her say them.
Right. For credibility, she's prettier than me. But for credibility, she's an attorney. I'm not. I'm a has-been cop. Mall cop with stolen badges and what else? Oh yeah, uniforms from Kmart or Walmart or wherever. Does Kmart even still exist?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to claim to know.
I'm picturing you riding a Segway though, through the mall.
Yeah. with my white beater shirt on.
Segway John.
With my badge on my hip. My Glock shoved down back here.
Paul Blart. You're Paul Blart.
Yeah. With my K-bar knife. I'm gonna rap about it later. I called that right there like that. I said, he's gonna make me a rap song. Didn't I say that?
You did too. You did.
Did I not say that? I said, T-Rav's going to rap about me. I promise you, we'll have to go back and find it and we'll play it. I called it. I said, there's going to be a rap song. You watch. And you know what? He's been MIA for like 15 days. It took him about 15 days to do like a 2-minute rap song with some video while he's waiting on that government disability check. Double dipping, still living off of the $18,000 a month he was making, or allegedly. That's what he told me. I mean, that's what he told me. Either I'm racking my head. It was either February or March. He told me he made $18,000 and he can't pay $112 a week in child support. That's now up to almost 50 grand. It's like 49 and some change now. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Anyway, let's play this lady.
All right, here she goes.
Hi, y'all, and welcome to tonight's live stream. We have huge breaking news in the Bryan Kohberger case. Bryan Kohberger has waived his right to a speedy trial. For weeks, pressure has been mounting on his team, just piling up on top of Kohberger and his legal team. A death penalty case 5 weeks away. Yesterday, the judge piled on top with a very aggressive scheduling order. And today, Bryan Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial. He called uncle. He said, I can't handle it. I'm waiving my right because I need more time to prepare for trial. We're going to talk about what the heck just happened.
We're going to talk about what the heck just happened.
You want to go to the next clip here?
No, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, come on. Here we go.
But today, Bryan Kohberger waived that right. You know, why would you ever waive a constitutional right? What would be the reason that you would do that? Well, it's always going to be if there's something you want more. And in this case, what he wanted more was time to prepare for trial. Because when you think about it, a speedy trial, a right to one, is a two-edged sword. It puts the prosecutor in a very tight time frame, and the prosecutor has to move quickly, but so does the defense. The defense has to prepare for trial really quickly. In this case, that's particularly a big deal because it's a death penalty case. So there is a true, very significant burden.
All right.
It's a significant burden. It sure is.
So this one, she talks about waiving the right to a speedy trial.
You gotta explain away that DNA on that sheath. It's a significant burden. But if you can get that sheath thrown out, remember, suppression hearings.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna claim these cops are corrupt. Mark my words.
She already is.
They're gonna claim they're corrupt.
Yeah.
It's gonna get pretty sickening.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
very.
All right, here we go.
Let me go ahead and add this back to the screen, and I'm going to show you Idaho 19-3501, a statute. And it talks about when the action may be dismissed. The court, unless good cause to the contrary is shown, must order the prosecution or indictment to be dismissed in the following cases. Number one, when a person has been held to answer for a public offense if an indictment or information is not found against him and filed with the court within 6 months from the date of his arrest. Now let's take the legalese out of that. What they're saying is that if a person has been indicted or if the person is being held in jail and no indictment is filed against them within 6 months, well, then the court must order that the prosecution or indictment be dismissed unless good cause is shown. So, in other words, if the prosecution doesn't move quickly to get an indictment, then the court is to dismiss the case unless there's a good cause, a good reason for that the prosecution can show. The same is true for trial. If you go down to 3, if a defendant whose trial has not been postponed upon his application is not brought to trial within 6 months, from the date that the defendant was arraigned before the court in which the indictment is found. So again, taking the legalese out, it's saying if you don't bring the defendant to trial within 6 months after the indictment, then that's too slow. That's not a speedy trial. And there are only two things that will get you out of that. One, the prosecution showing good cause, a reason for that to have happened. And number two, the defendant asking for it, the defendant applying for it. If either of those two things happen, then you're fine. There's no need to worry about the speedy trial. But if those don't happen, there are tight time frames. What typically happens is that the prosecution will be allowed a time or two anyway of good cause shown. The court will probably be pretty lenient with that, typically waiting for good cause, but it provides a potential appeal issue, right? It's a ticking time bomb that sits inside the case, because if the court says, oh, I think this was good cause, and the appellate court doesn't agree, huge problem. Now, in this case, Brian Koberger was arrested on December 30th of 2022, and the indictment was filed on May 16th. So that fit within the 6 months. He was arraigned on May 22nd. Trial would need to be by November 22nd. The court, however, had set a date of October 2nd to make sure it was within the time frame and that there were no.
All right, stop it right there, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we remember right, the court set the date, but it was the date that who wanted? Who wanted that date, Kelly?
And Taylor.
Ann Taylor wanted that date.
Mm-hmm. She said it.
Careful what you wish for, Ann Taylor, because he might hold you to it now. Now, I think he's going to give her more time. You know, he'll grant her. And don't think, everyone, that Ann Taylor is not going to win some of these motions. She will. And here's why. Unlike most other cases, this is a capital case. It's a DP case. So what happens is, no matter what, the day that he's convicted and the day that he is sentenced to death, the appellate process is already in motion. It's an automatic appeal. I think I had you pull that up, but you probably don't have it right there in front of you, do you, Kelly? Anyway, you can all look it up. There's an appellate process when it comes to death penalties, and it walks you through what has to take place. But it's automatic. Judge doesn't file it. The attorneys don't file it. It's automatically done. It's already in the works. So just wanted to put that out there. There's going to be an appeal, but what this judge doesn't want to happen is he doesn't want some frivolous thing that Ann Taylor wants that really wouldn't make a difference. He'll probably grant her some stuff just to pacify her and stay out of the appellate courts. Because everything that he denies, she's going to challenge. And she's going to try and bring up case law to support his the challenge. So he's going to grant her some stuff. So don't get all bent out of shape if she wins some of these motions. Not a big deal and very common in a DP case. Again, no judge wants to be overturned, especially on a case like this. Now, would the case be overturned? No. The sentence would be overturned for some reason. He could still go through with a conviction, but the DP could be overturned on a technicality. So anyway, I think we're pretty much done with that, Jeff. Let's move on.
All right.
Nothing else I can say. So we're gonna open up. Let's do the road. Are we doing the roadmap?
That's more of
Nah. Boring stuff. Let's get the calls in. Y'all want to take some calls?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Want to take some calls? We're 2 hours and 19 minutes into this.
Yeah.
Let's take some calls. I want to hear you guys. I know you're just chomping at the bit to get in here and voice your opinions and curse me up and down, whatever you want to do. We don't curse on this show. We try not to anyway. If I do, I apologize in advance. But I got my 15-year-old right here next to me, so please don't curse. We are a Christian-based show. Although we're realistic. I'm realistic. If you drop the F-bomb every now and then, I'm not going to crucify you. It's okay. Just try to refrain. And let's take some calls. And let's get my number up there, Tanner. Give me a second here. Hold on. We got to put the number on the scrolly. So please, hey, before I take this down, we got to put the phone number up there. So please, Cash App to Sherry. And let's help her get some clothes and, some nice stuff for the kids that their father never provided a day in his life. Somebody send him a DNA test.
John, talking about the F-bomb, dropping the F-bomb and being a Christian show and everything. I got to admit, I stubbed my toe the other day, the little middle one right in the middle. And F word came out. I hardly ever use the word, but man, it came out slow though. It was like, I hit it and it was like, and it just real slow.
It's
nothing like that little
nice
middle toe getting jammed and hits.
It's better when it flows off your bottom lip like that rather than your tongue, right?
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I wonder now if you say it in Spanish. Could I say it in Spanish and then maybe it's okay?
No, because we got some bilinguals in here.
Oh.
So what is this? 282,000 of expenses related to the homicide case in Idaho. Wow. $282,109.35. So what is that now? Related to the homicide case. Is this the expenditures? Truth exposed? Yeah. Okay. Well, we know that it's more than that because the governor gave $1 million right off the bat.
Yeah, I think that's just for the Idaho State Police.
Yeah, to the
I think that's just for
investigation.
the Idaho. Yeah.
No, I know what it is. I'm just saying we
Okay.
know that collectively it's more than that because the governor gave
lot.
$1 million in grant money. All right, so we're going to take some calls. The number is 386. Hey, I love how this flows off the tongue. Oh, I've already put it in.
Call from Heather.
Hello, Heather.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, I'm okay. It's my first time calling ever into a show like this, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
I'm Willow, by the way, in chat.
You're who?
I'm Willow in chat.
Hey, Willow.
Willow.
Yeah. It's Willow. Cool.
I'm very curious with Jeff. I'm very curious about his movements the hours prior to the crime.
Yeah, we all are.
Because he was all over the place. Cast is going to be huge in this.
It is.
He was all over the place, and I wonder if there's like a place where he went and picked up like a kill kit of some sort, and and then dropped it off. Like, did he go to some place twice?
Yeah, I mean it's there's all he took a long route to leave. So I don't know if you remember, did you watch Nancy Grace when she actually went out there and she drove that route and she talked about
I didn't see that.
I can't remember what words she used, but she said it was very, very, very spooky. It's a desolate country road, just a 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere. Very dark. And plenty of area where he could walk up into the woods, pick a tree, dig a hole, discard his trophy, which is his knife, and come back later, maybe one day for it. Because
there was
we don't know.
In Pullman, there was a stop that he made at least once, if not twice, at like one of the university, like library or something, and
Yep.
And I was like, okay, do they have video cameras there? Does anybody know that?
Oh yeah,
Traffic cameras.
I promise you that's part of the canvassing process. You know, they went everywhere, every business, and I think if they're smart, those desolate roads when Nancy Grace was on, I saw semi trucks going by. Now, semi trucks today, a lot of them are required to have dash cams. So if they're smart, they actually solicited for information of any trucks that drove down that road that may have picked up him going by the semi trucks as they were driving. So I would actually be looking for that and try and canvas for those type of cameras as well. Then you have your DOT cameras, which out there in the country, probably not too many. A lot of cameras, just because you see a camera on top of a light, that doesn't mean that it's recording all the time. They have DOT cameras that they can actually, they're just running all the time, and it's just a live feed, and it's not necessarily recording. So don't think because there's a camera there that's actually recording. It would be like police departments, like our department had multiple screens at major intersections, and we could just look and see if there was if there was trouble and we needed to cycle a light, we could actually do it. But that doesn't mean that it was recording. Now your traffic cameras, where you blow a light and you see the flash go off at night, those are what would capture him. Now some cameras do record all the time, but I'm thinking he may have taken that route because he knows that there's cameras, and he may have been trying to avoid traffic cameras and avoid businesses. Because like I said, if he's driving by, let's say a Walgreens, a CVS, a Walmart, or just a convenience store that has external cameras, he's going to want to stay away from those, because as we know, we don't know for sure, but that original photo that came out was from a gas station. And that,
right.
You remember the blurry photo of the white car, which we assume is a Elantra? Well, that was a great photo because that photo was leaked. If you look at that photo, you can see it's alleged
the
that
gas station attendant.
Yeah, she took a picture of the actual DVR screen, and then she disseminated it out. So that DVR was actually retrieved. So I would bet you that the footage from that gas station is a lot better. They have a lot better footage. So that's going to be in evidence. I'm just speculating though, because I'm a has-been.
Well,
well, mark up.
Right. Speculating too. And I'm just very curious about his movements. And I get that he would, go around a roundabout way, but there was just this one stop that he made in Pullman at at a university place that I guess was open 24 hours a day. And he was there at I don't know whatever time it was, 2 a.m. And what was he doing in there? It was,
Well, he could have been doing multiple things. He could have been avoiding using his phone to check social media. Could have been using the university computers for that because he allegedly had an office there. He could have been derobing or grabbing his kit. He could have been doing multiple things. We can all, speculate on that. But my guess is he went there to probably check social media because he turns his phone off. I mean, why would you do that? Because you know that you can be tracked. But if he can get on social media and check from, the school, that's probably what he did. So you know that they have that information too. Go ahead.
Was it the University of Idaho or of Washington where they lost all their wireless connection at that time?
Allegedly, that was University of Idaho. I don't know if that's ever been proven. Guys, has that been proven? I don't know that that's ever been proven.
I don't know either.
I think that was just.
I don't know. I had heard about it. That's why I did that one little video where I did, the Linda Lane camera would not have been affected by Wi-Fi going down.
Right. No.
But
we don't know. We're not going to know the answers to those questions until trial. But I'm with you.
Which will
I'm
be
with
like
you. I
5
want
years
that.
from now.
Yeah, right. I want that cast information. And did you watch the Murdaugh case?
I did.
Was
I was
that
very
amazing?
impressed with the cast.
That
Yes.
was, I'm telling you, that was, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was
They don't even,
go
they
ahead.
really don't need DNA a whole lot with this one.
No.
Cast is putting him right there.
No, it's like I said, we were talking the other day, and I said, you know what? DNA is irrelevant. DNA is a bonus, but you're
Yeah.
going to find out that this 51 terabytes is going to be a lot of video, and
Yeah.
and they're going to put him there. They're going to paint a picture, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to paint that picture for the jury, and then the jury has to decide within a reasonable doubt whether this guy did it or not.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I've heard that is even close to being something I would consider to be reasonable doubt that this guy didn't do it. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I know we don't know much, but I'm a realist, and I have been in the field for a lot of years. And knowing what I know, if there was exculpatory evidence, remember, we talked about exculpatory evidence. So exculpatory evidence basically means that there's evidence out there that would get my client out of jail. Now, don't you think if there was truly, if one of these witnesses had exculpatory evidence, like everyone's purporting, that they wouldn't have an emergency hearing, which they would, I'm telling you they would, because the judge would know the circumstances. He would grant that hearing. Let's hear this exculpatory evidence. And the judge would decide, well, hey, bond him out or cut him loose.
Yeah.
And none of that's happening. You know why?
No.
You know why? Because there's no exculpatory evidence. That is the most abused word in the legal field. Everything that a defense attorney has as evidence for his client is exculpatory. Just about everything.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to know that. Look up exculpatory. Go ahead.
Ann Taylor admits that she doesn't have any evidence in one of the motions.
Yeah.
Remember, she's depending on the prosecution's witnesses and don't have any witnesses for his alibi.
She's depending on building her defense team and developing what did she say? I forget what she said. Basically, providing witnesses against the state. Building her case with her witnesses, but she wants to know what the state has. Of course, which she's gonna know,
and she should know.
And she should know. It's part of the process.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with it at all. She's doing. It's like you. Everyone hears me say, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." I mean, I get what she's doing, but some of the it's the tact in which she does it that kind of rubs me wrong, and it's the lack of professionalism and her motions. That one in particular that really rubbed me wrong, because I knew why she did it. She did it on a Friday, and she knew social media was going to be all over it. And she wants
most of hers done on Fridays anyways. Like
they
I
are
feel like that's what she does.
They are. A couple of them were
Yeah.
done on like a Wednesday, but I know, most of them are. And that's a well-known tactic. This one really rubbed me wrong. And I was pretty bent over it. I thought, man, if I'm the judge and I read this stuff, I'm going to blast her when she gets in there. I'm going to write her up. It's going to be in her permanent file. That's how bad it would be.
Well, I'm sure he did.
I think he
I'm
did.
sure he did off camera.
It's called admonishment, and that's it's done often, but it's in a case like this, we wouldn't know about it because it would be prejudicial. If we knew that the judge wrote her up or admonished her, and it got out there, that alone could be grounds for a mistrial. So it's all done in closed chambers and probably at one-on-one or with his team. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking my call
Willow,
and answering my
I
questions.
so appreciate you being. Hey, I'm your first.
Hello.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are.
I'm your first. I'll never. Hey,
Thank you.
Willow, I'll never forget
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
He's glad you got to see him.
Bye.
Bye. All right, next caller. Bring it. Don't sing it. 386-287-1997. We got him lining up, buddy.
Call from.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh no, who's this?
Demo.
The spirit box, but
Oh man, we
Ectoplasm.
got the spirit box here. No noises tonight.
no noises tonight. But
Oh, this is ectoplasm.
Brian is guilty. He's clearly guilty. He wanted a speedy trial, but now he doesn't. The guy's done.
Oh yeah, man. Hey,
Sure seems that way.
I mean, he's got a right to due process, but the guy he's toast.
Be real.
No, he's a target because he's gonna get lead in the head. He's gonna die of lead
He
poisoning.
deserves it. He deserves that too. I mean, what he did. Now it's like it was like maybe like 2 seconds in me that I was like maybe he didn't do it. That was like before all the months ago, like 8 months ago, when all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, he did it, and I just feel so bad for the family, and this guy just needs to be put away.
Yeah, he needs to spend about 5 minutes with Steve, and that's what I would like to see happen. You know what?
10 minutes.
What better way to be put to death than to have it done within 5 years, not 25 years, but to actually look into the eyes of the father of the person that you brutally took from him, and
oh my God,
and what better way? That's justice. That's justice, man.
My question is this: how long do you think this could go until the actual trial goes to?
How long do I think it's going to go?
How long do you think it will actually start?
February, March, probably. I think he'll give them.
Oh, that's good, because I was hearing like, oh, it's gonna be like a year or two. I was like, man, this guy's guilty. He's guilty. That's why he's backing out now. He doesn't want to. He is guilty.
I don't see the judge giving him that much more time. I think January, February, March, somewhere around there. Probably more like February. I mean, that would be reasonable. That would give him plenty of time.
He's been calling everything. Like everything he's been calling, it's been on the spot. It's like, holy shit! Like Detective John, he knows what he knows what he's talking about. Every time he says something, it comes true.
Not bad for a mall cop that stole some badges and buys.
Oh, that's so ridiculous! Don't get me started on that, because I will get started on that if you want to. But
nah, we're good. We're good. Hopefully, we got some money for his kids tonight. I'm hoping some people donated. Did you donate, buddy?
No, I didn't. But where can I donate?
All right, I'm gonna read it to you right now. It's for his current wife. It's that.
All right.
It's the $. It's Cash App. $ Sherry SHERI Sweet SWEET. Both S's are capitalized. So Sherry Sweet. $ Sherry Sweet.
Only one R.
Will she like read the messages or stuff like that? I'll donate, and I'll say, "Hey, this is for Detective John. Thank you." I'll say thank you for.
Just say it's for for the kids, and it's Sherry, SHERISWEET, 1 R, Cash
And that's
App.
on the Cash App.
Yeah, so it's the $, SHERISWEET.
All right.
We're talking about the
I will.
picture, John. He's holding up a
Give me, like,
diploma in the
3-4
picture,
minutes.
right? On Cash
I'll
App.
just call and I'll donate.
Yeah, man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So
Man,
hey, I hope this isn't all you
Yeah.
got to say, man. Come on.
No, well, if you really want me to get, it's a certain somebody did a rap song which was
Dude,
terrible.
wasn't that great?
For one thing,
And I think he
it was
actually
so terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible, man.
No, I know, and he thought it was so good. Oh, I'm gonna get him good. Blah blah blah. You suck, dude. I mean, I was so, but it pissed me off though. That's the thing. It pissed me off because I'm such a fan of you. And then like this dude does this fucking rap. I'm sorry for the swear words. I'm sorry.
No.
This guy does a rap on you. I was like, come on. I was like, you don't do that. It's like,
I called it though,
just
dude.
disappointed.
I called it, bro. I think
I know you did.
I said
always everything you call is the same.
I said he's
comes true.
gonna do a rap song on me. I promise you. You know, he'll be MIA for 15 days and come back with a 2-minute rap song.
It was just bad. It was like, no, this is. He's looking. Is he still living with his girl? That's what I'm questioning.
I don't know.
Now.
I would expect she's dumped him on his butt by now. She's probably like.
And that's why he's not going live all the time because he doesn't have that Wi-Fi anymore. The Wi-Fi is gone.
He's in hiding, bro. This is alleged. I think he's in hiding because he knows there's going to be probably going to be a capias out pretty soon because we have the statute for because of New Jersey actually will take your disability if you owe child support. So, you know,
why isn't he paying him? Seriously, it's like of all these like this is the guy you go after.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is the guy you start a show on.
Absolutely.
No, this could be the YouTube show. It's him. It's this dude who's the Napoleon. It's like that guy's bad, and you know he's bad, and it's like everybody knows. Not everybody knows he's bad. He has a whole cult.
He's got a cult. That's what it is. It's the Rev cult. And you know what's funny is I went in just because that video. Everybody's like, you got to look at this video. It's freaking crazy. And I go in and I read some of his comments, and it's like people don't know. But you know who does know? Todd.
Who?
You know Todd, the gym coach.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I've
spent a lot of time today on the phone, texting back and forth with him, and I haven't been able to talk to him as much as I wanted to because I've been trying to prepare for the show, but I've got direct quotes. He's mortified. If he'd have known, he called him the POS, all kinds of stuff, and he's a nice guy. I like Todd. I don't want anyone to think that Todd did anything nefarious because I don't think he did. I think that Kelly does, but I think his heart was in the right place. The only thing that I don't like is that he jumped on board with the manipulation about Angel Girl and spun it with T-Rev, and he really didn't know. He didn't know what was going on.
T-Rev knows how to play the game. He knows how to mind more people. The guy is just like he loves his fam. He loves his fam, but he doesn't love his real family.
Hey, you know what? You want to hear something sick? I was doing.
Yeah,
Did you watch my show? Did you watch my show last night where I had my son on, and we talked about my first wife that died of cancer?
No, I did not catch that one. Not last night.
Yeah. I mean, I did a whole tribute to pheochromocytoma, which is the type of cancer that's very rare.
What was it again?
Pheochromocytoma. It's a type of cancer that attaches itself to your adrenal glands, and what it does is it's been misdiagnosed for forever, and it happens to men too, but a lot of it is in women, and that's why I hate it when I hear a man scream that you must be on PMS or something, because it's not always that. And what it did to to the mother of my 2 oldest boys is it attached itself and grew to be the size of a softball. And what it would do, it would cause massive amounts of adrenaline to dump into her system, and it would make her like Jekyll and Hyde. And
Oh man,
went through 9 years of that. Wound up divorcing, and a few years later, she had remarried, and she was diagnosed and tore me apart because I gave up on my marriage, and it was all because she was sick. And
totally off topic though. It's like a
well,
marriage nowadays. It's like it's hard. It's like people don't do it now. It's like, to me, it's gonna be sad. It's like people like say, "Oh, it's just a marriage. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything no more."
no.
Like people like eventually, yeah.
Yeah, attorneys have made it so lucrative for a woman to walk away. But guess what? It's not that easy anymore because men are getting 50-50 left and right now. There's a lot like here we have 50-50 here. So if you can't prove that the dad is an unfit dad, and the judge, what they've done is they've decided, hey, we're tired of having court all the time because the man or the woman or whoever has custody is always fighting for more money and this and that. Hey, guess what? You get half, you get half. Now, it can't be 100% 50-50. It's like 49-51, but just the way it works out. But it works out because now you got to both co-parent. And there's laws now that are coming out. So dads, don't be discouraged. Check in your state.
Good dads like you. Good dads like you would. Yeah, that's.
Well, my son, my 15-year-old sitting right next to me, and when his mother and I divorced, it was bitter at first, but you know what? When it came down to it, we both decided that 50-50 would be the best thing, and it is. And we co-parent. She's been on this show. She's been on this show multiple times now, and she supports me, and we get along.
For the Napoleon,
I
heard her for the Napoleon dude. The Napoleon dude who was, everyone should bash, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
You know what? He's not worth the butt wipe that I flushed down the toilet earlier this morning. he's just he's just that type
your
of
butt
person.
wipe probably sounded better than his rap song.
Yeah, right.
Your butt wipe sounded better than his rap song.
It did. It sounded like this.
Now it sounds good.
Hey, but I'll give you. You're getting better. Like every time you go on these lives, you have it. You have it in you. You just have the voice. You have the intelligence to just do shows.
Oh,
and that's what T-Rev's really gonna. He's really gonna get angry because he knows that too. He knows that you have the intelligence.
Well, thank you, man. I'm just having fun, brother. That's all. I'm having fun with it. I'm not, I'm not having, I'm not taking, this case lightly. So I don't want anyone to think that. I'm very serious.
Brian's guilty.
I'm very serious about
guilty.
it. But you have to have a little bit of fun sometimes and to get your point across. And I think a lot of people hearing it in the way that I put it may change their minds about what they thought before.
Honestly, I think you'll gain a lot more subscribers just exposing the T-Rev person that he is, and it's like people will like, oh wow. I remember Detective John. He was the only one who was entertaining on his channel. He was the only person that was entertaining. He actually knew stuff, and T-Rev hated that. I could always tell that
he
too.
did. He would go ballistic. Remember when he went nuts? This is my MFing show, Detective John.
Yeah.
That's why I when he said that, he says if he wants to start his own show, I'll support him. And that's when I did that little ruse video.
No, he didn't though.
That little ruse video where I said, T-Rev said if I wanted to start my own show, he'd support me, and I knew he was disingenuous. I knew he wouldn't support me. I knew he would do exactly what he would do because he called me the next day. He's like, we're going to be fighting for time slots. I'm like, dude, what do you think? I'm going to let you have you do 14-hour marathons. You can't give me,
and you're
a couple hours.
You know why he was afraid? You know why he was afraid? Because he knows how good you are. He knows you talk intelligence.
But he created me, man. He made me who I am. That's what he
Well,
said. He made me who I am.
He's the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. If I only had a brain.
No, man, he's Napoleon. He's one of the Oompa Loompas from the Wizard of Oz. That's what he is. Hey, Jeff, we got to do a video of the Oompa Loompas and put his face on it, dude. Oh, you got to do it. So, hey, Jeff, this is your mission. I'll pay you for this, buddy. Go into the Wizard of Oz and pull some of the Oompa Loompas on, and let's put little Napoleon's face on it, and then put Napoleon next to him doing the Oompa Loompa. Here, hold on. We'll go.
Oh my gosh!
I've got another riddle for you.
I almost fell out of my chair.
Oh,
Little Napoleon. Hey, Napoleon, how you gonna feel when they come knocking on that door, buddy?
That's
You're gonna
YouTube gold right
capious
there.
on you. I'm predicting he's gonna have a capious pretty soon because Sherry is on his butt.
I got a new
Nowhere to
question,
run.
John. I got new question is this: do you think him being so short is the reason why he is who he is, and why he's such a messed up piece of beat?
I don't know, but his dad's the same way. His dad actually got into chat and started defending him. I kid you not. You don't know the story. Then he starts talking about Sherry too, how she's got a couple different kids with different men, so that makes her a horrible person, right?
So
I've got 5 kids, and they're not all by the
has
same
a dad
woman.
who's on YouTube.
What's that? Oh yeah, his dad got into my chat. It's in my chat. Which one is it in, Kelly? He goes by Sweet DD something because the last name is Sweet.
I think it's on the second.
And he actually gets into it with Sherry. It's unbelievable that he's that stupid.
What's he saying about the allegations against him, like not supporting his actual kids?
Oh, he says that he's told T-Rev time and time again to do the right thing. That's what he says.
All right. So his dad is at least saying that they do the right thing.
That's what his dad says. It's in writing. We have snapshots on it. So if he tries,
I gotta see this. All right.
You gotta go find it. Which one's it under, Kelly?
I think it's on the second part 2.
It might be in the second show. I can't remember now, but
it's either the first or the second. But I think it's the second.
It's sweet something.
I'm so glad, John. No, you just decided to do this. It's like this guy, like he thought he had you. He was like, "This is my I got Detective John, and he's gonna be my co-host or my Robin. You know Robin.
Yeah,
you're Batman. And guess what? Not only are you Batman, T-Rev is your Joker, and it's just perfect setting. It's like he's like Dylan. Like, get away from me. It's like you are Batman and he's the Joker, and get him. And every time you get him, I could tell he's just like, I could tell T-Rev is just cringing. He's like, oh my god, he's at me again. He's at me again. It's like, get him. That's why he's not going live anymore, because he can't. He's scared. Be scared of Batman. You're Batman.
Bad boys. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys. What you gonna do when they come for you? T-Rev, the greatest rapper in the world, the #1 YouTube sensation. He invented everything. He dominates Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan stole everything from him. Howard Stern stole everything from him, because T-Rev is the original. He is the man. He created Detective John. Yeah.
He created YouTube. He
created
everything.
It all. This was built for T-Rev.
But he's such a phony. It's just like when you, no one, like what you did, like you woke up, and people still, you have to start tagging more. You have to start like getting these people's attention who don't know about this guy. This guy's fake.
T-Rev's my speed bag.
Totally fake.
Every time he opens his mouth, he's my speed bag. I love it. Bring it on, T-Rev. You got some more? Bring it. But you know what? I'm gonna own you. Every time you open your mouth, I'm gonna own you. And I got more coming for you if you want it. I asked him the other day. I said, hey, I got on the show. I said, just let it go. I'm done. I righted a couple wrongs. If
like
he just
Frozen,
shuts it,
let
I
it
said,
go,
Ecto,
let it go.
I said, look, I said, if you leave it alone, I won't utter your name. But then the fool goes out and does that rap song. Did you see?
Rap.
Did you see the?
Yes,
did you see the medicine that he posted? Why is this medicine making me have headaches? What did he say? Headaches or tired? He posted psychotropic medicine.
Why would you do that in a criminal channel? He's doing it for donations. He has to be doing it for donations. He's like, look at this, guys. I'm so like, oh.
He's trying to get that empathy. He's stroking. Hey, man, I got to cut you loose. I got somebody's on here.
That's fine.
That'd be crazy. All right, bro.
Awesome.
I'll keep watching. Keep
Hey,
up the great work. You're awesome.
Send some money to his children, though. Okay, you got everything right.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat again because I'm going to the phone. I'm going to look.
Hey, Kelly, can you put it in the chat for him, please?
The donation. Yeah.
For Sherry.
And there's a PayPal now too.
There's a PayPal now too. All right.
Yeah,
we're rocking and rolling.
People were asking.
All right, here we go. See you, buddy.
PayPal's where I'm at.
Thank you, man.
All right. Take care.
Call from
Rob.
He's a great caller.
Rob.
How are you?
Good, man. Sorry, bro. Me and Ecto, we get that plasma. That plasma is going all over the place. He's spewing stuff all over me. I'm spewing it back. We're slipping and sliding. We're getting into all kinds of stuff.
Every time I call you, my dog jumps up out of his chair and barks like he's going to attack somebody. Hey, but before we get started, I want to give a shout out to the creator, Little Rev, for allowing you to be around for us to talk to.
Oh man, thank you.
Shout out, shout out, little man. And I've got an open checkbook for your DNA test for your children whenever you want to be a man.
Hey,
out there, little
boy. I should just send out the address and get a flood of DNA tests and some condoms or something. I don't know. I should do that, but you know what? I don't want people to waste their money because he's gonna run. He's gonna run from the DNA.
Little guy had his and I unsubscribed from the channel long ago. I told you that last time I called, but I looked to see if he was man enough to have a response to being called out for all his BS. And so I looked the other day and I saw he posted he had COVID. Yeah. And I forget how I worded it. I was going to screenshot it to send to you, and I put, did your results come back in your DNA test?
Somebody else sent it to me. Did you see somebody said, man, it's always something with you? I swear that's what they said. It's always something with you. No. Why
I just
with a shake my
head.
Comment
was my comment was deleted, and I can't comment on his stuff anymore. Yeah, so I assume that means I'm blocked.
Yeah, no, he banned.
Is that what it is? And I'm banned.
You're done,
and I think that stuff just absolutely pisses me off. But I would pay for it. I literally would pay for it just if we could put it on the channel to laugh at, because the guy's a clown. And I told you before, I thought that.
Did you see his rap song? Did you see his rap song where he talks about Sherry in the rap song and says, puts fingers up and does all this stuff and talks about the state giving him his DNA test? Oh my gosh, dude, he is an absolute tool. I don't think I've ever.
How long ago was that up?
It went up yesterday.
How long ago was that up?
I don't want people. I don't want people to go watch it and give him clicks.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't want to do that.
Just trust me. It is the dumbest. It looks like, I don't know what he was on. I mean, maybe he OD'd on that stuff he was taking, and I don't know. It's definitely not Ritalin, but it's like 2 minutes long, and he's been MIA for 15 days. He's gonna come. He says he's gonna come back, and I talked about my deceased wife, and he was posting that song. This is how much lack of class this guy has. When I'm talking about, and we're sending a message out for pheochromocytoma and trying to get awareness out there, he's got his cronies in here accusing me of trying to make money, which do you see me I'm not even monetized. How am I going to make money? I put the cancer link on there and asked that they donate to them. And I wanted to get awareness out there because this is a very rare form of cancer. And because of my first wife, there was a test. And that freaking classless, disgusting human being actually posted that video while I was doing my show about my dead wife, and then said he would be the voice of my dead wife.
No, I didn't know that.
No, dude, that's how absolutely disgusting of a human being he is. And anyone that would be on that show after what he said about the mother of his children and his children, I didn't want my show to even talk about him anymore. But it seems like everybody wants to talk about him. So
the truth matters.
For to even, I mean, it's just insane to me. His beautiful children, they don't look like, I mean, I don't want to say he's beautiful because he's not, but they look a lot like him. I mean, they look just like him in a lot of ways. So
not like him.
I mean, I don't want to refer to him as beautiful because he's far from it. But they're wonderful kids. I've spoke with them, spoke with their mom, and we have an opportunity to help her at Cash App, SHERI Sweet, SWEET, the cash, and then Sherry Sweet with 1 R. I don't care if you send her $1, it all adds up. It's going directly to her and those kids, because he damn sure hasn't sent her a dime. 50 grand he almost owes now. $112 a week.
And he has no intention, and his little channel goes, and I think I mentioned this to you before, little channel goes because unfortunately we're kind of surrounded with some leadership that thrives on the conspiracy theories, and he has let those voices. Yeah. When I told you before, I stopped listening. I found him the first night that Koberger was arrested, when that link was posted on Twitter of when he thought that call was Koberger.
Right.
And I immediately downshot that, because if you looked at the time that Koberger was traveling to Pennsylvania, that would have meant he would have had to called while he was in the car with his father. Right. It was unrealistic. And I heard you talking, and he kind of, like I told you before, put it into kind of a layman's term. But as I listened to him, he would have, it would piss me off with the people with the drug pushing. Okay. College kids smoke weed. Yeah, we all did when we were in college. Okay. It happened. What wasn't my thing, but does anybody look at any of those kids and think they were drug dealers?
Right.
Anybody that ever went to college and smoked weed, those girls were not somebody dealing. Oh, I'm sorry, John, where am I going to get my weed from? Oh, well, this little hottie over at the house down here, she's got the weed. That isn't what happens. You get the dirty guy that looks like Little Rev. That's where the guy you get your weed from. You know what I mean? If you saw that guy up at the 7-Eleven selling weed, you'd be like, yeah, yep, sure enough. You see, Kaylee or Maddie or Xana, are you going to get their weed from them? Oh, hi, little girl. Do you have some weed I can buy from you? No, that just isn't going to happen. But he is, and I don't know, he hasn't been alive, I guess, since, I was going to ask you that, and then you mentioned it. He hasn't been alive since you called him out.
Nah, he'll be back, though. I promise you, he'll be back. He's got a following of a bunch of, low lifes. Not all of them. There's some good people in there. I don't want to say all of them, but some of them are really good people. But they're just manipulating.
He kept taking the calls, though. He kept taking the calls, though, of the crazy, and he would continue to let them go on. It was like if Alex Jones hosted his show, I'd get it. They'd be together, and he would let them go on and on. So it just became like it was okay to throw that stuff out there. And he was, for what he is, he was smart enough. I guess I don't want to call him a con man because I'm
He's
not
a
sure
hustler.
smart
He's
enough.
a hustler, man.
Yeah,
He says it
he's
in
a
his
hustler.
rap song. He says, I don't know how to do anything but hustle. He does this rap song with his father. It's him and his dad. So, and you know, the saddest thing is here, I've got a guy on this show, Jeff, who's got the biggest heart, one of the nicest guys that I know. He's a Christian man, and that guy dumped all over him because he forbid him to even talk to me, like he owned him or something. And Jeff's like, you know, go ahead, talk about it, Jeff. You can talk about it, bro.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Jeff, are you there? You sleeping?
It's hard. It's hard. Can the caller can hear me? Rob?
Yeah,
you can hear me, Rob?
Rob, can you hear him?
I can't hear him. No.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Yeah, we got
no.
Man, I'm sorry. We can't
That's all right.
For some reason we got some kind of technical, we got to figure it out. So
no, I complimented Jeff when I saw him on the first time. I was not aware of him. I saw the video, but I was not aware of him, and he's certainly is bringing something great. I know he went onto the Little Rev show, but it got to the point with after what was it, November, December, when all the quick preliminary stuff happened.
Right.
There wasn't really much reason to watch, but and I said that before when I called you, is he's still leeching onto everything he can with Kohberger for blood money, and that's just how I see it. Right. And because of the craziness, the craziness that he throws out there, it's not. And I'll get you to the point where I want your opinion on one thing tonight as far as penalty. But he was just what was and probably will continue on that tinfoil hat road.
Oh yeah.
You know, might as well talk about Bigfoot showing up at King Road. It's the point where he is at, and it's the sensationalism. You know, and I don't want to give him any kind of comparison to somebody like Banfield on News Nation, who it's looking for the crazy. She's looking for the crazy.
Right.
And
right.
It just when you feel it's not. I don't want to get into a whole political rant, but people go on this whole thing about Trump exposed racism. No, racism been there. People just got comfortable because of things that he said. Doesn't mean he's a racist. People just thought it was comfortable to say that. And it doesn't mean T-Rev's got some problems, clearly. He may not necessarily be crazy. He's a hustler.
Hey, you know what? You know what else T-Rev is, and he gets away with it? I posted on my show one of the comments that he made about, use the A word describing you-know-whats. And he actually, it was next to his name. He was making fun of him. And he's got transgender, homosexual, you name it. He's got a diverse crowd. And he said that. And I'm like, why is no one holding him accountable? He's a homophobe. Clearly, 100%. Based on what he said there. If I was an HR for a major company. If I had one of my employees say that, bye-bye, you're fired. What he said right there. Yet he's got these people believing that they're part of this gang. Like literally, they're a gang. They are Rev Gang for life.
No. They're cult.
Oh, they're 100% a cult. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly a cult. These people on that show are 100% brainwashed. And you hear the man say, God bless you. He doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
You kidding me? He doesn't believe in God.
But he has given a voice to people who have never had one or have felt important. I was in a conversation earlier today with a longtime friend about a guy that we used to work with, and he said, whatever happened to him? And I said, well, he calls me from time to time.
Right.
And he said, I feel like when we all stopped working together, life was going to be bad for him. And I said, to be honest, not to blow us up, I go, I don't know if life's bad, but it's different because he's a little guy. but we're all bigger dudes that if somebody, we could mess with him, but if somebody else messed with him, there's a problem.
You want to see something?
And now,
go ahead.
Now he doesn't have that, so life is different for him because he doesn't feel. Like, he wasn't a guy running around trying to start fights, but he was comfortable. He had his group of friends, and that's what the little Rev cult has become. Is he's given a voice. There's crazy older women that I hate to say that because my grandma, if she was still alive, would smack my face.
Some of
but
no,
I've
somebody
heard
said it. No matter what, the crazy older women are gonna love him. No matter what, somebody actually said it. Was that you?
There was a couple. It might have been because there was a couple times, and I think I said before. We talked about I do a lot of windshield time, so I would listen to when all the stuff. Well, maybe it was January because he didn't get arrested until late. I would listen to that, and they would call in, and it's entertaining when you're out on the road. And there would just be, you could tell it was somebody's grandma calling.
Right.
And they're just going on like, these kids with the drugs. Like what my grandma would say when I was a kid, like, it was, stop.
You know what the sad thing is? You know what the sad thing is? His dad, according to one of his friends called me and he's like, man, if you ever want me on the show, I got, he can expose him on the spirit box stuff. He's saying that it's all fake and that T-Rev uses a studio to make those words come up. It's all fake. Says it's all fake. He uses a studio. Now, don't. I'm telling you, he's very savvy in the studio. His dad has a studio, but the sad thing is,
his dad has a studio.
His dad has a studio. So
I did not know that.
He tells me that his dad. This is what this guy tells me, so it's all alleged. He says his dad had a studio, and his dad worked at the docks, and he worked hard, and he has a studio. He built it with his son, and his dad's a wannabe rapper too. So if you go into some of the, if you find that guy's name, it's what was it? It's Sweet something. And you click on his name, you can go in and you can watch his right. It's just like this 60-year-old dude all hopped up. He's like trying to be a thug. It's hilarious, dude. I was dying laughing. I'm like, this is straight up comedy right here. I was laughing my butt off.
I wonder if I can find it with being. Apparently, I'm banned. Then if I can't comment, I'm banned on the thing. I'll have to.
You're banned.
Oh. Does that mean he's not going to let me pay for the DNA?
What's that?
Does that mean he's not going to let me pay for his DNA test for his kids?
He's going to run. He's going to run from that obligation.
Yeah,
for sure.
I am more than happy to pay for that. Everything, and again, it's one of those things that we got to put it on the channel. It's got to be. There's no hiding around about it. Let's put it. I'll pay for it. Let's put it on, and he's not going to do it.
Is I wouldn't want the guy to hurt himself, and I think that I think that he may have had enough by now. But he keeps. I asked him. I did. I'm telling you, it's documented. I said, look, I don't want to talk about you anymore. I'm telling you, T-Rev, and I'm gonna tell you again. If you keep bringing it, I'm telling you right now, I got way more for you, brother. Oh, you're not my brother, so sorry. I don't even want to refer you. The garbage that I stepped on earlier tonight on my shoe and I scraped off with a stick. That's what you are. But if you want to keep bringing it, you better be prepared because I got way more coming for you. But I'm like you say, you act like you talking like I'm some redneck like in your rap song. I got way more for you, brother. And I got some for your dad, too. I got some info.
He was not prepared.
Larry and Gianna, they got something for you, too. I can't wait to see what they got. They got some big. There's some other stuff coming. I'm probably gonna slide away from it and let them handle it because he's pissed in some cornflakes. I can tell you that much right now.
Well, like his cult, they got comfortable. He got comfortable. He was not expecting anybody to bite back at him. He got very, very comfortable with, but he kept getting subscribers. He was getting donations.
Yeah.
And he got comfortable with what was happening, and he never expected to have somebody look at his background. And he underestimated what somebody such as is yourself with your background. You should have known what you could look for. So why cross somebody who can legitimately destroy your character?
Right.
And he was so comfortable with what he was doing because what was coming in, because of who continued to call and subscribe to his show, that he thought he was Teflon.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even saran wrap. You know, it's just what it is. And I know we don't want to. I just plan on just making little joking comments about him, about the creator, and you know, surprised you had time for us tonight because Black Friday's coming up. You know, mall cop, you got to get prepared for those kind of sales.
I know.
And I didn't, you know, so I didn't mean to go onto that rant, but there's just so much that can be piled on with him that needs to be, because it brings back the credibility to you and what you have to,
you know what, man, you know what, Rob, I don't need help. He's done. He's Karma's gonna find him. He's just on borrowed time right now. He's on borrowed time. His little girlfriend's, apparently her dad is a big time motorcycle gang dude in Chicago. So I'm supposed to be scared. You know, when I got the outlaw motorcycle gang that I worked down here, I ain't scared to you little Chicago boys. I can tell you that much right now.
I live an hour and a half from Chicago, and I've never once seen motorcycles when I was there. So I don't know. I don't know how good that gang is because the traffic is terrible. We could just get out and kick one of them off motorcycles while they're going. So
according to this guy, he said that her dad's this big time gangsta. You know.
Well, it depends. I'll tell you, I worry more about the South Side coming out from watching a Tigers White Sox game than I would about any kind of biker gang. Rolling up on me. So
I go to I used to go to Deerfield all the time for my bigger review, where, you know, Walgreens, they had, you know, Deerfield is Walgreens. I mean, it's the entire so, but it's apparently it's pretty much because they went Lean Six Sigma, which is the do more with less. It's the European philosophy. See, a lot of people don't know that Walgreens was pretty much taken over by another company out of Europe. And they went Lean Six Sigma, which is if you got 100 employees, you fire 50, and the 50 will do the work of the 100. That's what a lot of American companies are going to, because they can increase your P&L goes up, and that's what Walgreens has done. So, you know, it's like a ghost town from what I understand now in Deerfield, and it was like major. It's like 4 universities right there, and it was all Walgreens. So I went to a White Sox game last time I was up there. And what's that piece of joint place right next to the wall, right next to the fields?
I never go in. I never go to any of those.
Oh man, it's great
because they have. Did you park by the stadium?
Yeah, I parked on the back. I guess it was on the front side. And there's a road that goes down the side, and there's a pizza place right there on the corner. And what was funny,
I've never gone near that. I come in. I'm in the Kalamazoo area, Michigan. I don't know how familiar you are with it, and I'm in that area. So we come in from traveling east to west, and so it's for me as a Tigers fan. I'm halfway between exactly. My house is 1 mile, 142 miles to Comerica Park, 141 miles to U.S. Cellular Field.
You're right in the middle.
But it's a little bit. Yes, it's an older stadium. You're closer to the field, but the tailgating there is incredible. They have the parking is in a majority of the parking is in where the old Comiskey Park was,
right?
That they tore down, and so they have. Oh my God, they have the friendliest people. I've had some of the grilled meals I've ever had from White Sox fans that I didn't pay $1
Rob,
for.
I love
Yeah.
you, bro, but I can talk about this all night. But I got there's 19 calls waiting.
Hey,
right now.
I got to ask you a real quick.
Go ahead.
A real quick one for you. This is my main point. Penalty. Okay. And I know, and I really value what your opinion is to me. Death penalty. I know that's where it's at. I know that some of the family want that.
Yeah.
My thought and that's his only options there, I assume. When it comes to death penalty, I'm against it because I think it's not cruel and unusual enough. He's going to
that too.
He's going to sit there and he's going to get his day. He's either going to take a bullet or he's going to take some gas. And again, windshield time. Listening to the Sammy the Bull Gravano podcast.
Right.
He talked about his time when he went to the Supermax. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've listened to Sammy a couple times.
And he's talking about it is that it shouldn't happen. But for me to hear how sufferable that was, to me, that seems like something that I would much rather see somebody like Brian Koberger go through than the death penalty. I'll hang up. I appreciate your time. Love you, brother. The show's great. Tell me I'd love to hear your opinion on what you think about on a Supermax versus a death penalty.
Yeah. All right. We'll do it.
All right, bro. Have a great night.
Okay, bro. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, I want to address Brian M. real quick. John, I'm connected to financial markets, and a lot of CEOs are saying in retail, yes, shrink is a term that refers to loss. So if you have 100 of something and you do a count and you have no sales and you only have 80, you lost 20% of your product. So shrink is skyrocketing. That's why CVS's and Walgreens and places are closing down left and right, because no one cares anymore. They can walk in with a ball peen hammer and bust open a fragrance case and they'll just stand there brazenly right next to you and not even run out, fill up bags. They're called boosters. Boosters are networks of people that they'll use social media, and then they'll send a blitz out and they'll go hit these stores and they'll take all the product out. And every time one of those people come into your store with a backpack, it's $1,500 to $1,000. So yes, shrink is, if you're in the financial industry and you're looking to get into retail, you better not get involved in something like that, because you're going to lose your butt, because there is no accountability anymore. We're not even prosecuting people. All right. So what now? All right. We got another call. Let's bring another call in. 386-287-1997. And then we're going to wrap it up. This is going to be the last one. I'm sorry. We're at 3.5 hours almost. So let's do one more.
Tanner's raining in the dead.
287. Yeah, Tanner's like kicking me. Dad, I gotta go to sleep. It's past my little boy's bedtime. My little 5'11", 200 and how much you weighing now? Whatever. He's like almost 200 pounds. He's a big boy.
Yeah. That's my youngest too. You got a call?
No. I think.
I thought you had a call.
No. All right. Well, if we're done with calls, we had what do we have here? We had 31 calls lined up here, at the same time at one time. So guys, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to get to you. If you get through, then you're going to get to talk. If you're a good talker, I'm a good talker. I love to run my mouth, and especially when it's for a good cause like a tyrant, and ending him, pretty much getting his, I don't know how much money we got for those kids, but I hope we got a couple $100 at least. I'll find out and I'll let everybody know. I'm sure Sherry will tell me. But I appreciate everyone that donated to Austin, Atlanta, and Sherry and the family, because we're going to help people, and there was a wrong that was righted right there. This lady hasn't had a dime from this band since 2006. I want to say 16, maybe 17, allegedly. I'm not sure.
But we got the ball rolling. State of New Jersey is on him. They know about his disability check. State of New Jersey will take money out of your disability to pay child support. Some states don't do that. Jersey does. Way to go, Jersey. So we took care of something. We got Todd that's called me multiple times today. I really couldn't talk to him too much today other than text. He's like, I'm never ever gonna I'm never gonna associate with that guy again. He's a POS. I've got the text or the emails.
Yeah, but John, he also accused me. He came in chat tonight and he accused me of saying that Journey wasn't real.
And you never said that.
I never said that.
So we'll square that, Todd. We'll square that up, buddy, because she never said that ever. No one ever said that. But I'll talk to you, Todd, because I'm cool with you. I think you were just, like we talked about. I think you were just swayed by the devil, and he's an opportunist, and you jumped on to something that you weren't real sure about, and I'm here to tell you that I know for a fact that this lady was 100% legit. She had no ball in the game. All she was saying was that she knew for a fact that Xana wasn't a drug user or dealer or anything like that, because her granddaughter was in competitions and she saw her. She talked to her before. She never purported that she was like her best friend or anything like that. In fact, she didn't want to be anything associated with the show. She was just going to provide some video that she had from her daughter where Xana was there, and that's all. She never said it was Xana. T-Rev said it was Xana. Then T-Rev got called out because it wasn't Xana. I told T-Rev to fix it. He wouldn't fix it because you know why? Because he got a ton of money for putting that on there. And this lady was mortified. She was trying to get a hold of me. T-Rev, there's record of it. T-Rev, I say, hey, T-Rev, she's asking for my phone number. I don't know why she's asking. He refused to give it to me. He refused to give, and Jeff can attest to it. But listen, we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to let Jeff jam. So what are you going to play for us, Jeff? Are you going to play the Forbidden Riff? Come on, man. You can play that Forbidden Riff.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear it. So, hey, I appreciate all you guys. Let Jeff jam for a little bit, and we'll catch you real soon. We're working on content. We're going to cover I got a special person part of this team that's been in biology most of her life, and she's got a lot of information that she can help us with, and she's qualified. So bring it, Jeff. Love y'all. Can't hear you, man.
I was checking my tuning while you were talking.
Hey, we're gonna let Jeff show off a little bit. This is show off.
You
Jeff
can hear it okay?
right? Yeah, show off
come
for
on.
us, bro.
That was just because somebody was talking about Neil Young. I just looked it up. That's all I knew. I only got those first chords. All right, I'm just gonna wing it.
Tell us what you're gonna play for us. Tell us what you're gonna play.
How about this one? Little Joe Walker.
All right. Hey, we're gonna kick off with that. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Mods.
Thank you, subs.
Mindy.
Everyone in chat.
Thank you, everyone. Hey, we got. Oh no! Don't click out yet. Go ahead. Gotta hear it. Forbidden Riff. Only on CrimeAnalysis101 Live. All right.
Any
Peace
more
out. Hey,
All right,
glad
good night,
y'all got to
everybody.
see me.